At the Okoli Law Group, we specialize in producing justice. If you or a loved one in the Atlanta metro area is facing serious criminal charges, then you need serious legal representation.
The Okoli Law Group is here for you. The Okoli Law Group is here for us.
The Okoli Law Group, serious legal representation.
First off, the products are quality. I have amazing hydration. You guys can see the shine. You guys can see the definition.
Peace, fam. We are live again. Dynasty Mirror Search for Huru. Thank you all. Thank you so much for joining. Do me a favor. Please hit that like button. And please hit that like button. Also, make sure you share and make sure you subscribe. I will greatly appreciate it. Got a couple of announcements. Announcement number one, we are rolling to Sierra Leone. All right, citizenship is back on. Again, citizenship is back on in Sierra Leone. We are rolling to Sierra Leone. That is, so it's going to be two groups. First group, I'm hosting a trip. Second trip, I will be joining. So the window is April 20th through May 4th for the first group. Second group is going to be December 20th through January 4th. Okay, so we are rolling to Sierra Leone. We're going to have a great time. Citizenship is back on. The only major difference is that you have to come twice and you have to wait a year. So if you come in April, you won't get your passport the following April. And if you come in December, you're not going to get your passport the following December. So that's how it works. So please visit Danfo, DANFO.Africa. Again, please visit Danfo, DANFO.Africa to learn more. We will love to have you all. Love to host you all in Sierra Leone. Let me pull up the site real quick. Let me pull up the site. All right, so visit Danfo Africa. We're also rolling to Nigeria in August for the Oshun Festival. We're going to Senegal in May for the Jazz Festival, if you're interested. And then we are rolling to Zanzibar in September, and Namibia and South Africa in November. And then we're going to back to Sierra Leone in December. So if you're interested in joining us, please visit Danfo.Africa. Again, if you're interested in joining us, please visit Danfo.Africa. All right. Let's jump into it. USA. I'm going to play this clip here shortly. Let me find the clip. Let me go back to it real quick. Where's your and Magat Wade? If you guys don't follow her, let me go ahead and plug her. You guys need to follow her. She there was a clip. She was on the Tommy Lauren podcast, and she was speaking on USAID. And there's a clip that I want to play of her, and she's absolutely right. And a little background about me, I worked at corporate America, and we had expense cards, and we had a term called Spartan. All right, the term was called Spartan. For prime example, when we would travel, right, we had to fly Southwest. All right, so we couldn't fly Delta, we couldn't fly Delta Comfort, we couldn't fly business class. We had to fly Southwest. And that goes for the execs as well. But I think the CEO had his private jet, but he's the CEO. So it's whatever, he has his own private jet. But we had to fly Southwest. And I even think the CEO flew Southwest as well, but he still had, a private jet just in case. So they really monitored our spending. We had to, everything had to be accounted for, receipts. If I took somebody out to dinner, a client out to dinner, I had to have receipts, and I couldn't take a client to, Nubu or Nobu, whatever it's called, the sexy Japanese steakhouse that everybody goes to. Like, it couldn't be on that level. I mean, we could go to a nice restaurant, but it couldn't be on that level. But everything was accounted for. It was called Spartan. Now it's a term, like pretty much watch how you spend your money, watch your pennies. So I want to play this clip by Maggot Wade. Sorry if I'm butchering her name, but she brought up a great point, and I noticed this as well when I'm in Africa in regards to your tax dollars, where they're going for so-called aid. Let me play this clip, and I'm like, she's on point. She's absolutely right. Here we go.
USAID, it's its main vessel to send government aid from the US to the various governments, in this case in Africa. Okay, and that money is your taxes, Tommy, my taxes, and every American taxpayer's money. Okay, so we are paying for this. Now, it could be all good and nice if most of the money was going to the people that it's supposed to go to, but it is not. And we've been trying to raise the alarm bell for the past 15 years. And the reason why is because when you're on the ground, take myself, my country, Senegal. Tommy, imagine if Park Avenue or Fifth Avenue in New York City, one of the most expensive, if it's not the most expensive avenue in New York City, Fifth Avenue. Imagine you were walking down on Fifth Avenue and it's lined up with UNESCO. It's lined up with World Food Program. It's lined up with all of these NGOs that you know of, and they all have buildings, offices on this most expensive, avenue in the country. Well, that's the case in my country, Senegal. And I would argue it's the same thing pretty much everywhere. You go to Uganda, this area called Kololo. All of these areas is where the aid workers, the people who basically have built careers in the aid industry, there's no other way to call it, they live in these fancy, most posh areas of town, and they work in these fancy, most posh areas of town. You and I would look at it and be like, how come if you're a nonprofit, you are in places like this? You would expect that from big banks, maybe big companies, something that's making money, right? And it's somehow justified. But in this case, that's what you would see. And we see these big SUVs, we see entire families who,
She's absolutely right. So, guys, and I didn't catch this. I mean, I can't like now. So say you're in Senegal, say you're in Sierra Leone, say you're in Nigeria. These NGOs that are sponsored by USAID are in the most high-end luxury communities in all of Africa, where the people that they're there to serve can't even afford to even step into these communities. And I don't have a problem with that. But this is where your tax dollars are going. Again, these NGOs are located and headquartered in the most posh communities in Africa. You pull up, they got a fleet of brand new Toyota Highlanders, Land Rover Defenders, even the old school Land Rover Defenders, which are still expensive, all in the parking lot. Chauffeurs, the employees are staying in the most high-end communities. Kids are going to the best schools. And I don't have an issue with it, but again, this is on your tax dollar. She's absolutely right. I'm a witness. I've observed this. What she's saying, she's absolutely right. These USA sponsored companies are balling. I mean, they are balling. Or NGO, USA sponsored NGOs, they are balling. So they have all these expenses. So how much do you think of that is actually going to the communities that they're there to help? And I understand people got to get paid. Listen, I get it. I get it. I understand people got to get paid. I ain't mad. I get it. I'm not mad. Get your money. You work, you should be paid. But this is your US tax dollar that's covering all this. And so when I saw this video, I'm like, dude, I've observed this. Especially in Senegal, in the car, I'm in the car all the time. In Nigeria, Abuja, Lagos. They're in the most expensive, posh communities on your tax dollar, living good on your tax dollar. Let's continue.
Have one nanny per child provided by you and I. They get to have, business class airfare ticket to go back home at least once a year because, paid by you and I. They go to fancy, lavish parties. Basically, it seems like their lives are all about parties. So those of us on the ground, we see that a lot. Now, does it mean that there are not some of the programs that are actually doing good and really helping people? For example, people right now laying on hospital beds and needing HIV medication or any other type of, especially in the medical field. Yes, some of those programs, are happening and they're helping, but I would argue that they're probably not the majority of what our aid money is doing. And so those are just examples of where we see the money going. We could have told everybody there's a humongous waste. And then you have all of these stupid programs that they try to force us into that lead to nowhere. We all know it. But you know what? If you don't do what they say, what they ask you to do, then you're not going to get the funding. And literally, these people get to control what is it that as a nation we get to work on or not. And it's very easy to know what is the agenda of the day. If you want to know what is the agenda of the day, ask the young people who are trying to enter even an entrepreneurship competition. Whether it's an entrepreneurship competition or anything like that, you'll see people, everybody's going to come in 1 year and it's all going to be about the climate. Climate change. So we have to go for renewables or solar panels. You get to see exactly what is the agenda this year. And another year you're going to come and everybody's talking about gender. And another time you come, and it's just like that. So anytime, but in this case, those in power in America fancy is pretty much what's going to be the name of the game that day.
Yeah, she's right. She's absolutely right. I've observed this myself firsthand. It's a great observation. Guys, links in the chat room. If you want to call in and add to the convo, you're more than welcome to add to the convo. Make sure you subscribe to my God Wade's YouTube page. Great system. Also, we're rolling to Senegal in May. We're going to Senegal in May for the Jazz Festival. If you're interested in joining us, please visit donfo.africa. Again, if you're interested in joining us, please visit donfo.africa to learn more. Again, link is in the chat room if you want to call in after the conversation. But yeah, I observed that myself. Traveling throughout Africa, these NGOs, they live in fat. Man, I might, get me a job with an NGO, a USA sponsored, NGO. The thing is, you have no clue. Like, what are you doing? Well, we're here to take analysis of the environments. Okay. All right. I guess. Okay. All right, but guys, links in the chat room if you want to call in and add to the convo. You're more than welcome to call in and add to the conversation. And we'll do a separate stream on this. But if you guys have been keeping up with Joy Reid, and again, we'll do a separate show on Joy Reid. But I'm not surprised. Like I said, the Democratic Party, liberal media, they got to go in a different direction. It's just some of these people are just unbearable. And they're a complete turn off. And hey, this is how you think you're going to win votes and beat Trump? No, it's proven to fail. It already failed. It failed twice. Only reason why Trump lost in 2020 was because of COVID and George Floyd. Outside of that, people ain't trying to hear that. People ain't trying to hear Joy Reid. So yeah, so she got let go. And what's interesting with Joy Reid? Joy Reid, they cry about illegals being separated, their families being separated, who committed a crime. And that's what happens. You commit a crime, you get separated. But then she suggested that if your family member voted for Trump, that you should not invite them to Thanksgiving dinner, that you should separate from them. So you're upset that illegals are separated, keyword illegals, but then people who have the constitutional right to vote for who they want to, you want them to you want that family to be separated, which doesn't make sense. And then just the complaining about white people, just complaining about white people just gets old, especially if you don't have any solutions. If your solution is to complain about white people and go vote for Sleepy Joe Biden or Kamala Harris, come on. She had absolutely no solutions. All she did was complain about white people all day. And it got annoying. And I'm pretty sure even white people on the left didn't want to got tired of hearing that. So yeah. And now you got Jasmine Crockett. Oh man, that's another one. But I think as Black people, and especially Black women, and please do not take this the wrong way. I'm sorry. Please do not take this the wrong way, Black women. Are you upset that the Democratic Party, they put the most ratchet Black women at the forefront, the most loudest, ratchet, neck rolling, eye rolling Black women out front to represent you guys or to represent us? Are you what are your women, what are your thoughts on that? Now it's Jasmine Crockett, just loud and ghetto, rolling her neck, flipping her weave, and it's just like, oh my God. Joy Reid, Simone Sanders, just loud and ghetto. As a woman, aren't you tired of that? Now, this is how you're represented. Guys, I want to be careful. I want to be respectful. But Jasmine Crockett, I'm sure she's a good person. But Jasmine Crockett, she's doing an interview. And you know how you guys know when, you wear a wig, it's your hair, wear your wig, wear your wig. Is whatever, wear your wig. But where the elastic part comes down, her elastic part was all sticking up. I'm just like, come on, man. Well, it's a wig, because you can see, the part that's supposed to match your skin, like the brown elastic part. No, I'm dead serious. And it's just like, okay, so when you go on these shows, I know there's makeup. Like you guys do makeup. And they didn't catch that. And like the elastic park was, and it was just like, come on. And she just, the lace front, that's what it's called. And it's just like, come on, man. And we all have our moments. We all have our our wardrobe malfunctions, but this has been consistent. I'm just like, why they got her out here looking like this? And then rolling her eyes and rolling her neck, and yeah, the lashes. It's just like, man, it's just the representation of Black women. And like I said, flipping weave and rolling eyes does not mean progress. No, see, Jonathan, I disagree. I'm telling you, the Democratic Party, they're gonna slowly shift from Black women as far as being influential. If you listen to people like I can't think what's her name? What's her name? I mean, what's his name? James Clyburn. James Clyburn. No, not James Clyburn. Oh man, what's his name? I can't remember his name. But he literally said Kamala was their 7th-string quarterback and cannot formulate a sentence. So I don't think they'll have as much influence in the party. They'll be the loudest still, like Crockett. They'll be the loudest. I mean, if like I said, if you said Jasmine is a brilliant congresswoman, if she was on this show, she would debate circles around everyone. Okay, what makes her a brilliant congresswoman, Ms. Salmon? Like I could literally get on a show and say the white man, the white man, the white man, white supremacy, the white man, the white man, the white man, the white man, white privilege, white supremacy, the white man, the white man, the white man. Does that make me a brilliant? I'm just asking. Right. Does fighting for illegals, advocating for men playing in female sports, does that make you brilliant? So I'm Jasmine. So this is Jasmine Crockett, Mrs. Sandman. White man, white supremacy, the white man, the white man, the white man, men, trans women are women too, and we need to protect the illegal aliens. If that makes a congresswoman brilliant, the bar is so low. Guys, links in the chat room. You're more than welcome to call in. Link is in the chat room. You're more than welcome to call in. James Carville. Thank you. James Carville. It doesn't matter. It's just, again, I just think when you're on TV, and I have my moments too. We all have our moments. Like I know, I need a haircut. I get it. But the point I'm trying to make is these lace fronts, like, come on, sisters. Like, come on, sisters. You got a right to wear what you want, but these lace fronts, I don't know. And again, I don't want to talk about sisters' hair. I just don't know who tells y'all they look good. But anyways, that's none of my business. Yeah. But links in the chat room. If you want to call in and add to the convo, you're more than welcome to call in. You're more than welcome to call in and add to the conversation. Link is in the chat room. Yeah, it's embarrassing. The African leaders, presidents, it seems as if they can't live without this funding. A whole continent cannot come together to provide for their own. It's sad. And the way people are defending aid is crazy. Like I'm disappointed. What are the? Yeah, Mr. Salmon, I can make the same arguments. The white man's bad. The white man's bad. The white man. The white man. The white man. White man. Trans women are women too, and illegal immigrants. We need to bring them in. I can make the same arguments. Right. Why can't Africans come together and support their own? Why do we need USAID? There's no six. There's no sixth region. Eve, do me a favor. Turn on your camera so I can see you are. Then you can turn it back off. Okay. All right. Cool. You can turn it back off if you want. It's up to you. You can turn your camera back off if you want to. All right. Well, go. Go ahead, Eve. You got to mute yourself.
Pleasure to have me up and to discuss this problem with you. There's really good books that go back in it and talk about this aid in terms of non-African ones. There's of course the tales of a economic hitman,
Mm-hmm.
and then there's of course how Europe uh how how Europe why am I drawing a blank? I just wrote a book about that. How Europe destabilized Africa, um,
Right.
and in both books, which I'm embarrassed that I'm not ripping right off, because I just, like I said, I just wrote a book that calls that for required reading. But in both, they show you the methods that they make this aid, or what they call aid, which is really loans from the IMF. And these loans usually don't get paid back, or there's some problem, and it turns into you now own a mine in the country. You now own some form of resource. A lot of these deals get taken by gunpoint as well. Um, it's well documented in both books about times that African leaders have said, no, we don't want the aid, and what happens? That leader gets taken out. The USAID is a component of the CIA. It exists to create chaos all over the world. I'm also Haitian as well, and their work in Haiti is well known. The damage and the chaos, the funding of both sides of gangs, the smuggling of guns into the country. You're looking at people that don't have clothes on their back, but they have a brand new assault rifle in their hands. How is that possible in Haiti,
Right. Right.
or in any of these countries?
So
So
let's explain. So Haiti. So you got what's his name? What's the guy's name? What's the guy's name that controls the barbecue?
Mhm.
So you made a great point. These folks are running around with brand new weapons, but like barefooted in some cases,
Yeah,
in the hood,
yeah.
holy t-shirt, holes in their shirts. Yeah.
Yeah, they're at, like, these guys in Haiti, the oligarchs in Haiti, they lobby Washington directly. They work with Washington. To be Haitian is to understand that we've seen 3 coups d'etats. We've seen rich people rob Haitians of disaster relief money. And what do they always use after? This isn't for today that I'm saying this, or this is happening just to Haiti. This is a methodology that they've been using since the banana warfare of in Nicaragua. They use these systems in the same way over and over again, and with the same result. So I mean, we could. It's like when people say to Black Americans, "What have you done? What have you done in these years that you've been free? That we're supposed to like care or trust you?" And the truth be told, Black Americans were the most upwardly mobile people in the late 1960s, 1970s, going into the 80s. If it wasn't for the fact that our government, our CIA, which we know now to be more than a conspiracy theory, has put crack in our neighborhoods. Then after that, after they put the crack in the neighborhoods, they then go, oh, these animalescents, these super predators, we got to get them under control. And this the so-called liberals who did that, and they created the crime bill. They created the sentencing guidelines. They disappeared a generation of us, and then they said to us after, in the aftermath, why can't y'all get it together? Same type of organizations of USAID plans these things, creates these uh uh pitfalls for us. Not I'm not a whiner. I've done I've done well in my life, but I recognize it very, very clearly. You could see it because it's not, none of it is new. It's what they've been doing forever. Go, like, study other coups. And um, um, in my lifetime alone, I've seen 3 coups d'etats. I've seen one president get coup d'etat twice, and now I've seen CIA weapons in the hands of Colombians and Haitians to assassinate the president of Haiti right right after they find new resources, new minerals in the on the island. Right when he opens his mouth and says he's going to share it with the people, they kill him, and then cleverly go out and get the Kenyans to come in and try to police the streets. And they don't even want to pay them now. And who's got to pay? And the reason why they're not going to get paid is because they work for USAID. That's right. That's right. Those soldiers you see that's marching in Haiti, that's a part of USAID. So, I mean, it is what it is. It's not that we're addicted to it. It's that they're in the way, in my opinion. In my opinion.
So, do you agree with Trump trying to cut and end USAID?
I think it's a tremendous opportunity for us
Mhm.
because Trump underestimates us. He doesn't know what the last administration knows, that we are dangerous to them moving forward. If we ever came together and and uh and formed one solid force, you couldn't it would be damn near impossible to beat us in anything. And and right now, because Trump has such low belief in us and he doesn't care about Africa, I think this is a perfect time for us to like really just get away from them, plan, strategize, and make changes for ourselves. I think
Hey,
that's the
Ease,
opportunity that's presenting itself.
hey, Ease, what do you think is the responsibility for Haitians in America? What role should they play in fixing Haiti?
I mean, if someone destroys your parents' house, you you you're not gonna try to build it back. You're not gonna try to uh uh where you come from, the soil that you come from, the soil that your descendants very likely fought and shed blood for. You're just gonna basically be like, I'm American now. I don't care. I live in Haiti. I own a home in Haiti. Um, part of my radicalization is just the ability to just wake up um from the dream state that you get into when you live in America and recognize, like, damn, they really did a number on my country, on my people, and it has changed me. Honestly, like, most Haitians, especially in the diaspora, we don't even make the calculation in our mind, and it happens to all of us. Black Americans don't make the calculation that this government killed Martin Luther King and Malcolm X. if you look at the evidence their children is presenting, their children believe that. And we, based off of the evidence that they presented and the subsequent information, we as African Americans have to recognize that our government, you know, besides COINTELPRO, besides killing JFK, killed 2 leaders that had no violence threat to them. So when we're making these calculations, when we're thinking about where we are right now, we have to see it as an opportunity to get away from this nonsense. And because Trump is not the smartest in the world, and he's also racist, none of that matters to me. I don't care, by the way. But the point is, Trump is going to take his eye off the ball. I think it's a tremendous opportunity for Africans.
All right, go ahead, Complex.
Yeah, peace, Donnie. Peace, everybody.
Peace.
My thought on this thing: why can't we look at the good side of what we could use USA for? Like, why have or who knows how many African Americans actually applied to help out Africa with USAID?
That's not the way USAID works.
Okay.
USAID is only on the surface a philanthropic organization. They're a clandestine. As a matter of fact, just yesterday, a new documentary dropped. I'll get the name for everybody, that showed how South Africans spread AIDS in the guise of being these philanthropic companies, these NGOs, the USAIDs of the world. Most of what they do is destabilize other countries, and they do it in the guise of, oh, we're gonna build you a water well. In the meantime, they're spreading radical Islam. They're funding Boko Haram. They're like the list of things that they've done everywhere.
Okay, you kind of cut me off, so I'm
Is
gonna go
crazy.
ahead with what I was saying. You kind of cut me off, but it's peace. It's all peace and love, bro. So I do not. You told me how it doesn't work, and I was like, you never asked me if I applied for USAID or anything. So when we went on the trip with Dynas to Sierra Leone, my family.
Yeah, Complex, we lost you. You're on your Obama phone. All right, go ahead, Elvis. Elvis.
You getting me, Donis?
Yeah, go ahead. You're on your Obama phone too, but go ahead.
I hope you're hearing me good. Look, USAID is not entirely altruistic, right? It serves the U.S. foreign policy's purpose. So if it's going to benefit the United States, in the long run, then ultimately is a good thing for the U.S. Now, there are some legitimate philanthropic endeavors that USAID funds, like certain things in Africa where you have, you know, uh, fighting, malaria, or kids who have HIV, giving them those pills that cost like $700 if they would have had to buy it themselves.
And
Having
they have
clinics in
Ebola too over there.
Right. So there's a lot of good that it does. But in that same vein, of course, it could be used for clandestine reasons to influence certain people, to do the US bidding through the CIA and other places. There's nothing wrong with that. I mean, the Mossad, the CIA, the KGB, a lot of them, they use their intelligence agencies either using soft power or hard power, hard power. So it's not entirely a bad thing. I don't want people to think, oh, it's all bad, but the one thing I want to say when people come on the platform and try to criticize it and make it seem as if the U.S. is only using it to destabilize Africa, it's not true. It's all about maximizing, the USAID for your country as an African leader. If you
And
don't
that's what I was
maximize
saying
it,
too. That's what I was trying to say before my mic turned into the car.
okay,
It
I
switched
can
over
I
to the
can
car.
I can yield back to you. I know you was in flight. I can yield back.
Yeah, I wasn't going. It switched to the car, and I don't know why y'all couldn't hear, but I'm just gonna do my own mic. But no, I actually agree with Elvis for once. So it's good things to do with it, and the way it does work, individuals and organizations can apply for different sections of USA. So another question becomes, why are we letting people who may have nefarious or diabolical planning apply to help our continent and we're not stepping up. So this is the thing about accountability again. They allow you to apply. Like, Diamonds, you could apply for USA for what you do. And I just think people don't know that. Like, a lot of these organizations and a lot of things that are getting done, it's not just the US or the CIA, it's people who are not applying for those funds to use them for, the good things. And as I was saying, opening up the DNA company, Sierra Leone, once you get citizenship, thanks to Dynas, once you get citizenship, they allow you to fully come in and open up companies. Dynas, I think you got a driver's license, so they allow you to do that, and you can actually get the USAID to assist that country or any country you go to over there. So I'm just trying to come from the other way of it. Like, okay, is it all bad? No. Am I saying that what the brother said? I think Yves D.
That's Eve.
That's Eve D. I'm not negating anything you said about what's happening in Haiti and what funds do. However, there are good things that happen with these funds, and I was hoping someone like Elvis was going to come on and speak about the good things that happen with different funds and what you can use them for. And I think we should concentrate on that as well. Why are we not stepping up to the plate to be the Americans that do better with USA? And I'm gonna leave that question there.
All right. Let me just say this, right? So in my country, in Liberia, for example, right, one of the things that people do, like you have some local guy who's doing, philanthropic work in his community, right, helping young kids, helping orphanages, and things like that. You can actually sign up as an African, right, and ask the USAID for help to help fund that program. So a lot of people in Liberia and other African nations, they're doing well. Like there's a guy called Samuel Anders, who became a representative because he was doing such great works in his community in Painesville in Liberia. And the USAID helped him. He started an organization called the African Dream, and he's done tremendous work. He got elected into the House of Representatives, and it's helped a lot of young kids get better education, better health care. So it does help people.
Elvis, let me ask you. No, Elvis, continue. Then I'll ask you a question. Go ahead. Continue.
Yeah, it does help people who are on the ground, who are locals, who can apply for these. It's like asking for a grant. It's like writing a grant, program. And if it sounds good and you're a credible character, the U.S. can give you that money, and you can do a lot of work in your community that otherwise wouldn't be possible without it. So I get it. And then on the other side, it can be used clandestinely. That's true.
Okay, but so Elvis, so should the U.S. taxpayer? So two questions: should the U.S. taxpayer be on the hook for it? And then what is the Liberian diaspora doing to fund these programs so they don't have to rely on USAID?
All right, good. Yes, the U.S. taxpayer should be on the hook for it. One is because it's influence. USAID is used for soft power. It's to garner goodwill towards the U.S. So when the U.S. want Liberia to vote for them on certain things, the U.S. Liberia knows the U.S. has always been there for them. They're going to reciprocate that. It's usually soft power. You're trying to get people to give you goodwill, and usually that comes in the form of aid. So the U.S. foreign policies is it's engineered for these things to help countries so that in return they can help you when you need them most. It happened during World War II. A lot of countries helped the U.S. and they align with the United States because they have a long-standing relationship with the U.S. through USAID and other philanthropic endeavors that comes from the U.S. In other words, in terms of Liberia, diasporans in the U.S. and other places, again, it's like that Tariq saw, right? It's the government. The government don't have programs that's set up to help people, donate back, like donate money to a pool where it's going to help the local people and help orphanages. And usually, if they do have something like that, it's going to be corrupt. A lot of people are going to steal that money. So it's the government start functioning, optimal, at an optimal level to help the people and better the lives of the people. So the U.S. come in and step in, and they get a lot of help, give a lot of help to Liberians, and in return, they get a lot of goodwill to the United States. That's just how it works. And U.S. taxpayer money funds it. It's part of U.S. foreign policies, and that's what your money goes towards. It's just that simple.
Hey, Dynas.
Go ahead.
But to your point, I do also agree with your point that these countries should be able to raise their own funds, that other countries should be out of their business with, keeping their monies low and using Africa's resources. Africa has enough resources to support itself. So on the other hand, I will agree with you on that, Dynas, that I think it's it could be a good thing if it's going to help Africa get up on its own. But I still want us to remember, if you all just scroll through the USAID website and look at the different sections of money they give out, they have plenty of sections for African Americans to go over there and help, actually. Like, I just look at it and read the lines and read the different grants and read the different things you can apply for. And you'll see where you can be of help, but you can also take that money and help Africa help itself with its infrastructure. So it's really
I'm on
the
their
organization
website.
that is
Well,
legal.
I'm on their website right now. I don't see any place to apply for anything.
Oh no, Trump got to it now, so I don't know what you're gonna do right now. But I was hoping it was still up. But I do have some old pieces that I did print off when they were offering those things. Like I said, they would have supplied Dynas for what he does. So some good can be done, but we got to get ahead of it if it comes back open. And that's the reason. That's why I like Doge, though. Maybe Doge is just trying to clean. Maybe they're just trying to clean it up. I hope. But if they're not cleaning it up, then I don't see where it will benefit Africa with the different programs I've seen. What the Senate was talking about, like trying to get trans monkeys and all that kind of crap. No, I don't need to go to that stuff.
Yeah, they was trading money. They was trading money for so that African countries would accept the LGBTQ uh new ways of thinking, and they would bribe them with aid to take it. Kamala Harris just did a tour with USAID. This is like, you have to understand. Like, I'd like to see examples of them doing good. When I hear that USAID is backing a candidate, I
So
know that candidate. I
spending
know that
money to
candidate
help
is
gay
against
people
us.
have rights is a bad thing.
But
I don't think
Elvis,
it's a.
hold on 1 second, Eve. But
Mm.
Elvis, what's the point of using U.S. tax dollars for gay rights in countries where it's illegal anyway? That doesn't make any sense.
Usually, it doesn't go towards even just gay rights. It goes towards people who have been marginalized, people who need, like people who have, you know, people who might have AIDS, for example, right? It goes towards their treatment. It goes towards helping them. So even if it's illegal in the country, people can still go there and get help. So I
And
don't,
that,
I don't,
and that should be the responsibility of the country.
Says who? I mean, it's not against the U.S. law for the U.S. to use money. The foreign, the State Department to use money
You're
the way it
right,
sees fit.
and you're right, and that's why Trump is cleaning it up. But you are correct. It's not against. I guess it's not against the law, but you are correct.
No, Dinas, I think they are kind of breaking the laws of those countries, though. If it's illegal in that country,
It's illegal. Like
yeah,
a lot of these countries
it
are
is
considered
illegal in most of
illegal.
those countries, and it's genocide. And I'm going
No,
to say
they're
it
not
flat out.
telling anybody to be gay. They're just helping those
Yes,
people who are
no,
margin.
no, 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 no,
You
no.
you
Now I
seen
can
what
say
happened
this
in
on the other
Uganda,
side.
right?
What
Uganda,
it was
when they were
clear. It
killing
was
gay
clear what
people and,
Kamala
and,
Harris
and
was.
burning them.
It was clear that Kamala was telling those countries,
That was
if
a
you don't,
USAID supported documentary. Great example.
No,
right?
but it's happening, bro. I mean,
No,
there are gay
no, it's
people all
not.
around the world.
I've been to
Why
six
should people be getting killed
Diners.
or persecuted because they have a different sexual orientation
Yeah,
than
but
most people?
Because it's
Elvis, it's
genocide.
illegal.
It's
But
genocide.
not even that. But Elvis, if it's illegal in their country, it's illegal. So it doesn't make sense to fund. So it
Yeah,
does not make sense for the U.S. tax dollar to fund an initiative that's illegal in another country. It just
Diners,
don't make.
think about it. You live in this country, right? You think homosexuality should be illegal in this country?
Don't
I,
answer that, Dinas. This man, they gonna come for
I
your
think he
show.
worked for
no,
the USAID.
no. This is where I stand on it. You're an adult. You do what you want. Leave the kids out of it, and I draw the line at what is a man and what is a woman. Like, that's where I draw the line. But
There you go.
if it's illegal in another country, that's their rules. Like, I'm not gonna. We shouldn't go over there and force, laws that are legal here that are still illegal there. So I don't. That doesn't make sense to fund that in other countries.
If you want to do it on a moral thing, right? When slavery was
He
abolished in the
didn't make
United
a
States,
moral argument.
one
He didn't
second,
make a moral argument
one
at
second,
all.
brother,
He didn't
one
say right
second,
or wrong.
1 second. We in the United States, most of us who live here, right, who grew up here, is
We lost you, Elvis. Yeah, it's illegal. Like, why are you funding initiatives that are illegal in a country? That doesn't make any sense. But we lost Elvis. Links in the chat room. Links in the chat room if you want to call in and add to the conversation. Link is in the chat room. Link is in the chat room. If you want to call in, you're more than welcome to call in after the conversation. And please hit the like button again. Please hit that like button. Go ahead, Complex.
Yeah, but we agree, Dynasty, man, on that point, man. Like, no, these countries should be self-sufficient. They have their own laws, and a lot of things are holding them back. And if that aid is being used to do that, you couldn't flip that and say, "Hey, Colombia, come on, bring your, drugs over to America where it's illegal." America wouldn't, I mean, the Oliver North thing and all that is argumentative, so I don't want to go there. But you can't just come. So why should we be able to do that to other countries? And I'm gonna see to you, Eve.
Hold on, I didn't hear what you said.
No, I said I would see to you, but I was just saying, like, Dynas is right on that point. Like, why, if the aid is being used to fund illegal things and
Right.
arms and take sides in wars, yeah, it
Right.
that shouldn't be happening.
Like me personally, I have no dog in the fight of whether it's wrong or right. That's not for me to decide for a whole other place in a whole other world. But if you look at the priorities of imperialism, the priorities of the people who sow chaos everywhere that they go, it's to force these things on people. It's to make it where that confusion becomes a part of our confusion. Now, I've been to so many countries in Africa. I've never seen anything. I mean, I don't live there, so I can't say I'm the expert. But I've traveled with people who was in our group who was gay, and they were having a ball. They were meeting their people and sneaking off. You know what I mean? They were living their lives in countries that's supposed to be quote unquote illegal. People gonna do what they want to do. These laws basically say mind your business. You know what I mean? And it's not for me to say if they're wrong or they're right, but it's to notice the investment that our government makes on spreading that all around the world. Why? Why is that coming out of my tax dollars to do that? It doesn't make sense. And it shows that there's something underlying. There's something not the United States never gives Africa anything good for especially not for free.
All right,
So
Mr. Nigeria, go ahead.
All right, good evening to the panel. How are we doing today?
Doing good, man. How are you?
Yo, Dana, someone Najafana.
Oh, I'm fine. I'm fine.
Oh, brother, I don't miss you, love you small. Oh, but they give me joy.
Go ahead, my brother.
Yeah. All right, to the topic on the panel. When I tell Europeans that we feed them, they will turn a blind eye and twist their nose up. You see, in 2014, Nigeria was in a trajectory so astronomical. This year, 2025, we're supposed to be a $1 trillion economy. Obama was the one that brought Buhari. He funded Buhari's election to kick Jonathan out of power because Jonathan refused to give resources to Obama, to allow him to steal oil and do all what not he wants to do. Because he doesn't want Nigeria to grow, because if Nigeria grows, other African countries will start to feel they can do the same. So he sponsored those Boko Harams. Even he sponsored other groups. It's not just Boko Haram, there is more that is sponsored into that region to make the region unstable. It destroyed tourism. It destroyed ever going to that party. People can't do, because agriculture of Nigeria is mainly from the north. People can go to farms. Automatically that destroyed the economy. Even when they are going to, after you finish fighting the Boko Haram, the white people will come, still give them resources, give them arms that the government of the country don't have. And this money is not that they are paying to the Nigerian government, they send to their NGO, and they'll say they want to go and use it to develop areas. They will take one or two pictures and take that money to the Boko Haram leaders to destroy my country, to make sure that we never see the light of day. If this is not witchcraft, I don't know what is. Just to let you guys know, majority of people that always say Africa is poor, Africa is poor. Africa is not poor. Africa is not poor. Africa is being extracted. Africa is not poor. Even people will say, why are you running away from your country? You Africans are not doing anything. We are. We are. Just like somebody will come to America and say, why African Americans are not doing this? They are trying. But the system, we are. We are not lazy. We are not poor. We are not incompetent. We are trying. But just that invisible hands that most people don't see, trying to take everything we have worked for. Just imagine sabotaging a whole country. Brother, sabotaging a whole country, toppling one government and putting in another. Toppling one government and putting in another. And yet Americans will say Ukrainians have the right to fight for their freedom. Ukrainians have the right to fight for their freedom. But when it comes to Africa, they turn the blind eye. The injustices that have been done to us as Africans, if the white people start paying from today, they will never finish paying it in their lifetime. They will never finish. They will never finish. Let me just mute myself and listen to the other people talk.
Okay.
Yo, great share, man. That was amazing.
Yeah, I was making a point before I dropped off. You know, first of all, Africa is not rich. You know, Africa is poor. You know, being having minerals that you can use to its fullest extent and utilize for your optimal benefit. That's not rich. It's like somebody who has, I don't even want to say an investment that they can't cash in until they're like 500 years old.
That's
That's not being
absolutely
rich.
rich.
That's brother.
One second, please.
That's the
Let me
pure
make my
Bros,
point, please.
wait.
Look,
If
It's
you know
don't
taking
say
no
it
I'm
too
no.
fast.
Nigerian,
You spoke.
if you know
Just calm
brother,
down, brother.
wait,
Let me
if
make
you
a
know
point.
say
Let me
I'm
make a
Nigerian,
point.
if you
Look,
say nonsense about Africa, me I not
let
go
me.
grill.
No, I
This
hear
one
you,
I no go.
brother. I hear you.
No,
Let me make my point.
Let him finish. Go ahead, Elvis.
Right. So even for Boko Haram, right? And again, it's a religious ideology. It is a religious ideology. The U.S. didn't go and make them Muslim and make them fundamentalists who bought into this religious idea, idealistic interpretation of Islam and made them forbid education or Western education. And as such, they want to commit violence, you know, you know, to support that idea. So
Bro,
for
I've seen
me,
video
I
of
don't
Boko Haram
hold
stealing
on,
pigs.
hold on, brother. One
Stealing
second.
pigs.
One
Yeah.
second. Hold on. The point here is that the reality is Africans are their own problem. They create problems and then people take advantage of those problems, right? The United States is a country. It's not a philanthropic, charity or charitable organization that's supposed to just come and save Africa. Anytime Africa is messing up, it's supposed to go there and swoop in like Superman and save you. Some people will take advantage of your stupidity and use it for their benefit. So if you're behaving like a responsible continent, taking care of business, doing things that you're supposed to do to benefit your people at a maximum level, the United States will have very little impact on how to sway the
So
affairs of
explain
Africa.
Libya. Libya that had the
I've
high the
explained Libya a lot for many times. I don't want to go
no,
back to it.
brother. Don't even explain. No, brother. Don't even
I'm
explain
just
Libya.
telling you
Explain the
that
one that is alive.
when you
Explain
say
this
that you
this Burkina Faso guy. How many
one second,
yeah.
brother, one
How
second,
many
right?
times they try to kill him?
It's like a guy in a village, right, who has 30 or 400 acres of land, but he's living in a little shack and he says, I'm rich. How are you? Yeah, you have a property, but you're not utilizing
He,
that property to
he's
give you
rich though.
wealth.
He's
No,
literally rich.
wealth, you got to be liquid in order to be rich, right?
No. Land
If
is
you
way more
have,
valuable. Land is
listen to what I'm
far more
saying.
valuable
You
than
know what
any
being rich
fiat
is?
currency. So
You know
being
what being rich?
liquid,
You know what being rich is?
you have
Rich
a
is not. It's
very
not a hypothetical. It's not
full
in theory.
idea of
It's in
what value is.
actuality. If you have something of value that you are not utilizing for your benefit, you're not rich yet. You have
Yeah.
to utilize it.
You
You have to
you
use it,
you could be sitting on it for a variety of reasons. That doesn't mean it
bro.
doesn't have
My
value.
village,
That
my
the,
great grandfather village, we have a lot of land. You know, am I using that land for farming? Am I extracting oil out of it? Am I using it for anything? No, the land is just sitting there. It's an inherited
That's
family.
because of your lack of imagination. If you
Oh,
had
so the guy in the
imagination and if you
village
didn't
who
have
has a
such a
30-acre.
colonized mind, you
No, I'm
wouldn't
just
be
saying
thinking like this. I
the
wish I could
guy in the
trade places.
village
Give
who
me some
has
land
five.
and
Hold
see what
on,
I do with
the
it.
guy in the village who has 500 acres of land but is living in a shack or in a mud house. He's rich, right?
Yes, he's rich. He's
Okay,
just
so then what's the
ignorant.
difference then? Since he's not using it, he doesn't
It
he doesn't have a
it doesn't
colonized
Brother, you are
change
not
the
mind,
making any
intrinsic
brother, you are
and
not
he's
value.
making
not
any sense.
making any money off the
You
land.
are not making any
Having
sense, my
land is
guy.
one thing. Utilizing the land to make money is one thing. That's why
Bro,
people sell land, because the land is
can I
useless to
speak to
them
you? You are
until
not making any
they
sense.
sell it for currency that they can use to buy things
Brother,
that they
you are not
need.
making any sense. You are
Sell
not
it for
No,
making any
currency
sense.
at any time. They
You are
can
not
sell it.
making any
They can
sense.
find out
people
tomorrow its
either sell their
valuable and
land
sell it.
for money,
They're
or they
rich.
pawn they put their land into some kind of
Brother,
receivership or
please
whatever
can
it
I say
is.
something here? You are not making any
You
sense.
have to get currency in order to have
No,
value.
brother, you are not making any sense, my guy. See, let
That
me
is a
just tell you.
very whoa.
Let me just tell you. Let me tell you, with a mindset that you have, I would just advise you do the Michael Jackson type. Just bleach yourself and let us count you out. You are not making any sense, my
You
guy.
guys are so
You can't tell me.
idealistic in your
Listen, Baba,
thinking,
you have
and
It,
been
that's a
it,
Hey,
talking
hey,
for
wrong
too
El-
long,
way
El-
to
my
Elvin,
guy.
think.
Elvin, 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 let him talk. Go ahead, Mr.
Okay,
Najee.
go ahead.
You have been talking, guy. You are not making any sense. You are not making any sense. You see, Africa is not developed. Africa is poor, guy. I'm from Benin. I'm from Nigeria. The great Benin Empire that was destroyed by the British in 1897. My guy, don't talk what you don't know. Don't come here and talk what you don't know, guy. If you don't want to be African, be on your own. But don't come to African panel and push your negativity here, please. Don't talk what you don't know. Most things that are displayed in the British Museum, where do you think they came from? They came from that same place that you said they are poor.
preach.
Democracy was never meant for Africans. Get this straight. That is why majority of the time when African countries like these Burkina Faso guys now, everybody, they are trying to force them to do democracy because democracy breeds corruption. Democracy was never meant for us. These people force democracy. And if you don't do it, they call you a tyrant. Aga, what are you talking? What are you talking? A man that, okay, I'm living in a shack. I own my land. So how does that concern you? You came all the way from Europe to come and steal from me. Then you go and build your home and you tell me that I'm poor. What are you talking? What are you talking, my guy? It's like you're drunk, man. You are telling me now that you live, maybe you buy a 50-bedroom apartment. You are living in one. Then somebody can come and take advantage of the remaining 49. My guy, what are you talking? Does
That's
this make
right.
sense to you? Does this make sense to you? If you don't want to be an African, nobody is forcing you. There are billions of Africans, man. -1 is not a problem. Don't come here and be
Exactly.
spewing nonsense. It's just out of place. It's out of
You know
place.
what? I
Look at
want to
Burkina
look at
Faso. Look, wait,
I want
brother.
to
Let
look
me
at the
finish my
Your
point.
Elvis
emotions
fan.
Let
doesn't
me finish
change
my
the
point.
facts,
Let me
brother.
finish my point. Baba, don't be emotional,
100
guy.
million Nigerians are living
Let
in
me finish my
abject
point, Baba. Let
poverty.
me finish
That's
my
Right.
point.
And a
poverty.
lot and all of
Let
that
me
roots
finish my
from
point.
colonialism and
Let me finish
interference
my
by the
point.
British.
Let me finish my point. Baba, wait. Chema, wait. Let me finish my point. Look at these guys from the Sahel. Do you know how many assassination attempts those guys have had? All because they are looking for the good of their country. You are talking now. The Muslims are not bad people. I will say it here. I'm not a Muslim. But the Muslims are not bad people. The West is trying to frame the Muslims as terroristic people. Any little thing they do is magnified, just as the black man. Any little thing the black man do is magnified. People that they are pushing, they are using those guys. They will say they are Muslims. They will be shouting Allah Kubaru. At the end of the day, people will be saying the Muslims are bad. Even in the north that we are talking about now, that everybody's talking about, the northerners are not the ones in Boko Haram. They are people brought from Chad. People brought from Chad and all those Benin Republic side. And if you see those guys don't look Saharan African to even the common man. My brother, don't talk what you don't know. Don't talk what you don't know. This is wrong for you to be saying this here. If you don't want to be
Do
African,
you
but nobody's forcing you.
okay,
-1 is not a problem.
one second, bro.
Come and be
You
spewing nonsense
know,
here.
this is the ignorance of people who don't even study Islam, who's never read the Quran or understand what the Quran says. So don't even come here and try to lecture me about Islam. You don't know nothing about Islam. And second of all, a person like Dynas, right? Dynas, who's a businessman who knows value, right? If he buys a land, he's not stupid enough to let that land sit there. He's either going to put a residential property there to benefit himself, or he's going to put a commercial property to benefit, himself through business. So when people
Not
come on here and
not
just think that
necessarily.
having land is wealth. It only
Having land
transfer
is
into
wealth.
wealth when you sell it or you utilize it to gain physical wealth in terms of money.
If it didn't
But,
have
brother,
intrinsic value, why would
let me
someone give
make
you
a
money
point.
for it?
The intrinsic value is when you transact
Why
to
would
give you
someone transact in the
to
first
get the
place if it
value
had no
out of it.
value?
You listen, you hear the word you have to
Why would
transact
someone
to get the
transact in the
money out of
first
the
place if it
land.
had no
So if
value?
a person is sitting there living in a shack, don't have money to feed their kids, but they have 30 acres of land, what do you think the first thing they're gonna do? You know what? I gotta go sell maybe an acre of land
And
for
that does happen.
$1,000.
They get taken
And that's
advantage
when they
of.
get the money because they have something of value that they have to sell. They have to transact in order to
Right, but if it
utilize the
didn't have
value of the
value,
land.
how could you sell it?
So in Africa case, on a larger
Answer
continental
the
scale,
question. Like you
one
jumping
second,
over the
brother,
question. The most principal
relax.
thing.
I'm
If
just
it
giving
didn't
my
have
2 minutes.
value, how did they
Relax. Let me make
sell
my
it?
point. Let me make my point. I'm not saying they didn't have value. I'm saying the
You did
value
say
only.
it didn't have value.
No, I say a person who
You
have
said it doesn't
20.
have value until it turns into a fiat
Listen, bro.
currency.
I don't want to argue with you, right? One second.
But you're
I'm
wrong. You're telling the people
fine. I
misinformation.
could be wrong. I'm not arguing with you. Fine, brother. On
Bro,
the
you
globe
can't say you
on
can't say
the
you don't want to argue when you are
one
bringing a statement
second. I'm just
when you
making
are
a
bringing
point
a
and then
statement
I'll
that
pass
doesn't
the
make sense.
mic.
My guy, you are talking nonsense, I beg.
Oh yeah, I get it. On a global scale, on a grander scale, on a continental scale, Africa has all of these resources, right? A man who's sitting in Sierra Leone in Bo, who finds a diamond. That diamond in his hand is worthless to him until he sells it. Number one, he doesn't know how to cut a diamond to give it his optimal value to sell it for his maximum cost. So he
Again,
sells
that's a
the raw.
lack of
Hold
education.
on,
That
hold
doesn't mean
on,
the raw
hold
diamond doesn't
on,
have a
brother.
value. That
Hold
it doesn't
on.
have a price on the.
1 second. 1 second. So when we say people are rich, you have to utilize the minerals in order to get the value of it, which is through money
So
or
if you
through
have a pound
exchange of
if you
infrastructure
have
or
a
whatever it
pound of
is.
rough
So
diamonds,
when we
that
say
person's
Africa
not
is rich,
rich.
take 1 second, brother. Take DRC Congo, for example, all the minerals that they have. Are they all the people in Congo rich simply because they
I
have the
want to ask
mineral
you a
under their
question, brother.
soil?
Since you
Of
brought up
course
They
not.
DRC
should
Congo,
You
be.
have to
since
bring
you
people
They
brought up
in
should be.
DRC
to
Congo, I
mine
want to
those
ask you a question.
resources.
In
They have to
Saudi
Since
bring
you
Arabia,
brought up
some
DRC, my guy, you are
sophisticated
talking, you don't,
machines in there to mine
my
them,
guy,
things
this
that
is
we
human
don't
being or
have
what?
in Africa. So
My
my
guy, this
point
is
here
human being.
is
This
having
is
raw
human being.
you're
material is one
like
thing.
the more you talk, the more
Utilizing and
wrong
This is
you
human being.
get.
transacting
How
for
can you
those
be
raw
reasoning like
materials
this?
to get actual value for it is a whole nother thing.
This is
So let's
human
not
being.
be
The
Let me
idealistic,
materials
ask you
have
a
a
brother.
question.
value. There's a
Don't be
marketplace.
idealistic.
Diamonds
This
and
is not
minerals
talking.
are valued on the Rappaport. You go to the Rappaport report, you find out the price of the diamond based off of all of the stages of the diamond's life. But that diamond today in 2025 has a value. It has an intrinsic value. Whether you find it or don't find it, if you do find it
It
and
has a
become in
value
possession of it, it
that you can
has
only
a value.
actualize when you sell it.
Brother, let him talk now. Let him talk. Let him talk, please. You're not the only one on this panel now. Why you holding this panel?
Don't
Baba,
be
I beg,
angry,
speak.
my friend.
Baba,
Don't be
speak,
angry.
guy.
You got the
Bro,
mic. Go
talk your
ahead,
talk.
speak.
Baba, don't talk your talk, my guy. We are listening to you.
The the main point is this is the trick of the imperialists. They land on your land and they trade you a couple of shekels for that land, a couple of shells, a couple of trinkets. Yo, here's a gun, and then they buy the land from you with bullshit. Well, I'd rather have the land in Africa than any of the money sitting in my bank account right now. I'd rather have that land because of its intrinsic, what it could, not only what it could be turned into, what could be underneath it. Africa has the least has the least exploited oil fields. They're afraid that if we actually brought all of our product to market, that we would crash the market. So they also work to depress our ability to get the value out of the land. But when we do finally get these people off of our continent, and when we do finally learn how to work together, we'll be able to profit off of our land a lot better than what we have in the past few years because it is
Brother,
valuable.
brother,
I
please, I
know it's
want to ask,
valuable every time I get on a plane to
Respectfully,
Africa.
that's a silly argument to make.
brother, please don't hold the panel. Don't hold the
Think
panel.
about
Don't hold the
Saudi
panel. Let other
Aramco.
people
One
speak
second,
now, guy.
bro.
Don't hold the
We're not
panel
here to
now.
fight. Just let me make a
Now
point.
you get the panel. Which
Let
one
me
you they
rebuff
block
him.
everybody?
Let me rebuff him 1 second. Think about Saudi Aramco. the Saudis, right? They had
Yeah.
oil under their land for centuries and never knew a damn thing about it. Once it got discovered, they didn't even know how to extract the oil. They didn't even have the machinery how to extract the oil. The oil only became valuable when the British and the U.S. came and formed Aramco and started to,
You could say
extract
the
that
oil
oil,
didn't become
refine
valuable
it,
until
and
Brother, we have
sell it.
heard you. We
That's
have heard
when
you.
you
You are
get
not
the
the only person on
value.
the panel. We
So
have
just
heard
having
you.
something under your land that you don't know
You
how
are
to
not the only
utilize
person on the
is
panel. We have
worthless to
heard
you
you. You are not
until
the
you
only
can
person on
bring
the
people
panel. Let
in
other
to
people speak, my
utilize
guy.
it to its maximum
You are
effect to
not the
get the
only
most
person on the
money out
panel
of it.
now. See this guy.
That's the
Oh. You don't
difference.
need to hold the
Go
panel.
ahead. I'll pass
Your
the
mind,
mic.
no, no, panda.
the
I'll pass the
moment
mic.
that they made machinery that depended on oil to run and gasoline to run, that's when their land became rich. Not the moment someone paid them for it. The moment it was necessary for the means of production, that's when the land became rich. And that's why
Brother,
Africa is rich intrinsically, because the
Why
means
do
of
you think
production
Nigeria
brother,
was
did
let
not
other
more
people
rich
speak
but
now,
operate
couldn't
please. Now,
refine
let other
oil?
without.
people speak
And
now.
Dangote
Jesus
had to
Christ.
spend
This guy,
20
you a
billion
woman
to
or
try to
what?
refine it. Because if you have a resource that you can't refine and maximize, you're not rich. You're not rich. You get
Like I was saying
exploited.
before,
Like
as I
what
was saying
happened in
before,
Nigeria. They had to export their
as I
oil
was
to
That is
get
saying
how the
before,
refined, and
white
they're
man has
brother,
tricked
imported
us
back
out
to
of
them and
our
sold at
land.
a higher
as I
rate.
was saying
That's
That
before, as I
crazy.
was saying
mentality right
before,
there is
brother,
exactly
as I
how
was
the
saying
white man
before,
has tricked us out of our land.
brother, sorry,
Like
you,
it's incredible. If land didn't have no value, why did the United States perform the manifest destiny and reach from sea to shining sea? If land
brother,
didn't have value, if that
brother,
did
let me tell you something. I am from Benin. When the Portuguese started to come to Nigeria to trade with us, they didn't come with violence. They only came trading. People are saying Africans are backwards. Sometimes when I hear it, man, you can only say those stuff on the internet. If you say it in my front, guy, forget your chest. Forget your chest. I will let you know. Forget your chest. Because it's rubbish talk. When the Portuguese started to come to Benin, they came as trading partners. People are talking Africa is poor. We have been trading with the Europeans for years. Then after they came as trading partners, they started to come and they started to buy elephant tusk and many other things. Little by little, they came. When they came, they saw this. We like this, they took. We like this, they took. The next time they came, that was after the Berlin conference. They came in mass with different weapons. Even when they came to my state, the king of my state told them, if you research the Great Benin Empire, you will know Africa is not poor. Even without the arrival of the white man, we were. Baba, let me finish now. Even without the arrival of the white man, we were already doing our thing. The first bronze casting ever on earth was out of my state, Benin City. It's in the British Museum till today. But in history books, they will tell you the British started bronze casting. The British don't have resources to start bronze casting. Excuse me? But brother, when you are talking, you are
Who
saying Africa is poor.
broadcast that out of Benin State?
Okay, let me
Was
ask
it a
you a
Benin,
question.
the
Let me ask you a
Ethiopian people or
question.
the British
No,
people?
Elvis, I want to ask you a question. I want to ask you a question. Do you believe African Americans are lazy?
Okay, I think this is your first time interacting with me. I'm not
Yeah, I'm just
somebody
asking you a
who.
question. I'm asking you a
Yeah,
very
no,
simple question.
I absolutely not. I
Okay,
don't delve into stereotypes.
okay. You don't believe in the stereotypes, but there are other people that will look at African Americans as lazy. They are not. They are being sabotaged, and that's a fact. Same thing that is happening to us
Do
as
you live in
Africans.
the U.S.?
Baba, no, I don't live in the US.
Okay.
I
You are
live in
not.
the U.S. and he's
You
right.
are
You
on
don't have
social
to live in the
media.
U.S. to know
You
that
are on
he's
social
right.
media, guy. What are you talking? Is this guy making sense or
I'm
what?
just asking you, brother, why you get offended by everything I ask?
I'm not getting offended by everything you are
I'm
saying.
not
Most
attacking
of the
you. I'm
things
just
that you say
asking
don't
you.
make
Because
sense.
that
And
was
me
an
as a Nigerian,
offensive
me,
statement.
I don't like people saying rubbish.
Okay.
I don't live in the
He's
US,
an
but
African talking to
I don't live in the
Americans
US,
right
but
now.
I don't live in the US, but I see social media. Everything that's going on in Africa, how do you know? Do you live in Africa? But you see social media. Yet you come here and you rant and you say nonsense. African Americans are not lazy. They are people that have been sabotaged. Through all the sabotage, these people were able to be productive. America is known today not because of anything. It's because of African Americans. But
So are
some
you
people
saying
will
that
still
the
look at
U.S. should
them.
work in the best interest of Africa
Bro, let me
always
finish now.
and never take
This guy
advantage
said,
of
which
them?
kind of human being be this one now?
You asked me a question. I'm asking you a question, brother. You think the U.S. should work in the best interest of Africa always and never take advantage of them? Is that what you
Michelle,
think?
Is this Richie
no.
Torres?
What is
Is
this guy
this
talking?
the Bronx representative Richie Torres? Because you have the same sellout demeanor as Richie Torres, yo.
No,
Is
I'm
this what
telling
this
this
is?
guy, just do
I'm
the Michael
asking a
Jackson thing so that we
question.
know you
You
are not part of
think
us.
that people should come and do things for you on an altruistic basis and
Nobody
not
said
benefit
anybody should
from
come
Nobody
it?
and
said that.
nobody said
Nobody
anybody should come
argued
and do
that.
things for us.
So why are
But
we
the main
always complaining
important thing that
Africa
I'm
is
so
being taken
happy about,
advantage of? We're not. We're
oh
not. We're
yes,
not. We're
Because they
not. We're
have been
not
taken
inferior
advantage of.
people. We're not
All right, so
inferior
who killed?
people.
Let me ask you a
If you're
question. Who
doing
killed Thomas
business, you have
Sankara?
to.
Who killed Thomas Sankara?
Blaise Compaoré killed Thomas Sankara.
Working for who? Who gave him the cue?
You can say it
you are
was the
even
French
talking
if you
about
want to
that.
be
So
a
let's talk about
conspiracy
Marcus
theorist.
Garvey.
Who?
Let's talk about
Through
MLK.
Houphouët Boigny. Fine, if you want to get into that thing. But it was his
Yeah.
best
But
friend who was very close to him
so
that
you're gonna
killed him.
absolve
If
the
his
United
best
States of
friend,
the
no,
West
if
from
his best friend refused to kill him and was loyal to him, he won't be dead.
Just imagine. My brother, I don't
who?
know. Guy,
Blame the people
no,
who
wait.
carry out the
Wait, I want
actions,
to ask a
brother.
question.
Let's
I
just
want to ask a question. I want to ask you, Elvis, where are you from?
I'm from Liberia.
Oh no, it's a shame. It's a shame.
Yeah,
My uncle
not
died in your country doing peacekeeping for you
Oh,
guys.
and I love Nigerians for it.
It's a shame.
I
It's
always
a shame.
thank
It's
them
a shame.
for their help in my
It's a shame.
country.
I feel sorry. If these are how Liberians think, I feel sorry for the country.
I'm
no.
an
I know a
individual.
lot of
We're not
Liberians
a
are
I feel
monolith.
sorry
solid.
for the
Liberians think
country. If these are
different than
how
I do.
Liberians
Liberians are
think, I feel
solid. I've
sorry for the
never heard
country.
this talk from
No,
Liberians. I do business with
no.
Liberians.
If this is how our Liberians talk, I've not met Liberians before, but I feel sorry for them because
Brother, you have to
you
know
can't
how
be
the
reasoning
world
like this now.
works.
You
Nobody
can't be
is
reasoning
there
like this
to
now
help you
as an
always.
African.
No,
No,
People are
the
going to take advantage
neoliberal
of you
story
where
of how the
there's an
world works.
opportunity to. You have to dot your T's and dot your
so
I's
you
and
are
cross your
telling me
T's.
now if you park your car on
If
the
you're
street
going into
and
business
somebody
with a
comes
businessman, let
and
me tell you
steal the
this, right?
car, the person has
If
done a
you're
good
going to
thing.
business with a businessman, you don't know what you're doing,
But
and
I'm
you're
asking you
some
a
kind of
question.
a fool, they're going to eat your lunch.
But me,
That's
I'm
just how
asking
it
you a
Listen,
works.
question.
you can
Me, I'm
Google
asking
my
you a question.
name.
If you park your car on the street now, somebody come and steal it, the person has done the right thing because you didn't lock it.
No, that's a crime. What are you talking about? Is
Man,
what
what the
is
hell
the
is this
white
guy
people
talking
stealing the
about, man?
lands of Africa?
That's not the point that he was making. Listen, you
He
could
asked a
Google
question.
my name. Listen, you could Google my name and see how much business I've done in the last 30 years, who my clients were. Who it's all there it's all there out in the open. I like people, I'm always talking on the internet on social political talk, but then somebody who thinks that they're a businessman comes and tries to tell me about doing business. Like I've sold tech companies, I've built tech companies, I've worked for almost, I would say the number used to be 19, but I worked for two of them recently. So about 21 of the Fortune 500 companies. I like the knowing business part always angers me because a lot of y'all don't know what it's like to pay 35 employees. Don't know what it's like to have a client sign a purchase order and then not pay it, and you stuck with a $1.2 million bill. These things come from doing business. But what I've learned the most from doing business in the last 30 years is that there is no level playing field. There will never be a level playing field. If you look at how angry these motherfuckers are for DEI and anything else, if you look at the tech oligarchs on where they've come, guys who used to be liberal guys are now angry, racist conservatives. There's a reality and there's this thing that people are selling as if there's prosperity here like that. Look at the data, look at the numbers. When you do look at the data and then look at the numbers, then people say it's just y'all. Something is wrong with y'all. Something is wrong with black people, and it's
Brother, I'm
not
telling
true.
you. They throw stone at you and they hide their hands and they'll be pointing at you. Look at for a second. Do you know majority of these countries, these people that come to Africa for this humanitarian thing, they will leave the cities where people are living good lives. Even on normal documentary, they will leave the cities where people are living good life. They will go to the worst part of the worst, just to push that narrative that Africa is this way. And yet this guy will come on here and be talking what he's talking.
Dog,
What are you saying, my brother?
Boy, you know what? You know, I've been listening to this shit for
Stop
about
talking
30
trash, man.
minutes. I've been listening to this shit for about 30 minutes.
Talking trash.
And you know, this is the first time in life
Hey, hold on.
that I don't heard some dudes that more emotional than Elvis.
Hold on. I gotta mute you. I gotta read this super chat. 20. This is from the UK. 20-pound holla. I get Elvis' point, but he fails to understand that the UN and the IMF were explicitly against industrialization because they worry that if Africa industrialized, those resources would become expensive. Follow African stream. All right, Toto Kiss, the floor is yours. Sorry about that.
Okay, let me start. Let me start this over, man.
Let the brother talk.
Let me start this over. It's been, you know, this is the first time on this channel where I don't heard somebody sounding more emotional than Elvis. The dude Eves, emotional as fuck. The dude missing Nigeria, emotional as fuck. I don't agree with Elvis on 99.9% thing. Anything he say. But when he was talking about business, and when he was talking about wealth, and when he was talking about riches, and when he was talking about consolidating your property and selling it, and it's worth, everything has a value, everything. But it's a difference between a property in the dirt, shitty ass Nigeria and property in the UK.
Baba,
everything has a value, but one thing costs more than the other. Please, bro, y'all been running y'all mouth like female. Y'all been running y'all mouth like female for 30 minutes straight. Nobody couldn't get a word in, because both of y'all running y'all mouth like female. Both of y'all running y'all mouth like females. Benin City look like shit, and Haiti looks like shit. Both of them put together, if you put Haiti and Benin City together, you got a double shit sandwich with motherfuckers shitting in holes in the ground, peeing in jerry cans and they shit. So it's the craziest thing in the world. And y'all sit up here bringing up emotional points and moral points. So it's some shit they got to do about business. That shit is business. If you ain't goddamn refining your product, that shit don't mean shit. If you goddamn if something come out the ground in Africa and then they refine it in another country and then sell it back to you, 10 times for what they goddamn gave it for you. If I was a country and I was doing business with the average African, I would bust them upside the head every chance I get. It ain't no motherfucking love when it comes to business.
That is why I said
don't even make the shit that y'all said don't even make no sense. And every time he brought up a cohesive argument about wealth and riches, y'all motherfucking soft emotional dudes start talking about history, start talking about British, start talking about slavery. Y'all start talking about 1960 and 1864. Elvis was talking about right fucking now. And all y'all kept doing was double talking and repeating yourself. And believe me, anybody on this platform know that I don't fuck with Elvis at all. But when he's speaking the fact and he was speaking the truth, that's what he was speaking. And all of y'all was sitting up, there sounding like bitter. All of y'all sit up there sounding like bitter baby mamas from the boat. And the funny thing is that the two dudes that sounded like bitter baby mamas is from two countries that's shitty as fuck. Benin City look like shit. I've been there. Haiti, you ain't even got you don't even need to talk about Haiti.
All right,
you need to say hellhole.
City don't look like shit.
Your head is shaking.
Maybe diarrhea, but it don't look like shit.
You have diarrhea of the mouth. Your head is shaking.
Hey, Jonathan Miller, what you say? It look like diarrhea?
I said you have diarrhea of the mouth. Your head is
but
shaking.
it don't look like shit.
Yeah. Hey, I tell you what, shit looks better than Haiti. Shit actually look better than Haiti right now.
Something is wrong with you.
So that's the
boy. Something wrong with you, and you talking about Benin City.
You need psychiatric care.
You talking about Benin City with all the fucking dirt roads, with all that motherfucking trash, with all the open sewers, motherfucking shit in buckets. You got bags of shit all on the side of the road. Are you fucking joking?
Close your mouth there.
Are you fucking joking? And then you had the nerve to threaten him and talking about if he said it in your face, you would do something. Y'all niggas, y'all get on the internet and become tough like y'all will do something.
I will tell you. There's nothing you can do.
But nobody wants to go to Haiti. Nobody wants to go to Haiti.
Shut your mouth. And if I see you face to face,
But nobody don't give a fuck where you live at. It ain't nobody in here. You can't pay nobody to go to Haiti.
I have people
what happened to Haiti? Was Haiti not destroyed? You are talking nonsense.
You have no ideas because you've just been stuck
You have
here.
no idea what happened to Haiti.
You've never been nowhere. If you've been to Haiti, you wouldn't be talking like this.
He has no idea what happened to Haiti. Come here and be ranting your rubbish mouth
We
like a
don't give
pregnant
a
woman.
fuck what happened to it. Why it happened to it. We know what's going on with it right now. You can give all these excuses. You know what? That sums up black people. You know what? That sums up black people at a whole, Jonathan. Excuses. So look, I don't have no problem. Come up with all the excuses that you want. Haiti still is a shithole, and Benin City is a goddamn diarrhea fest. I'll segue to Jonathan on that.
Something is your brain that is a shithole. Something is wrong with your brain because you are so senseless. Your brain has been bleached. It has been whitewashed. You have no brain cells left in your head. You come here and be ranting rubbish. I'll come here and be ranting rubbish. Don't ever talk about my country.
Hey, Jonathan, let's pass
the mic. Go ahead, Jonathan. I'll pass it to
Well, y'all,
Marie. Go ahead.
I understand that y'all don't like truth, but sometimes truth fucking hurts. The total is right. Elvis is right. Face the facts and let it go. Stop arguing against the truth.
Make a statement on what was right.
Elvis is right that you can have the land all you want. Unless you can actually use the resources on the land, it don't mean a damn thing.
So by that logic,
no, wait a minute. Do you know how many times? First of all, do you know how many times?
People are justifying when the African Americans are lazy.
Damn, calm down, breathe.
By that logic, people are justifying when the African Americans are lazy.
Calm down now. Calm down now. Breathe now.
Answer the question.
No, but I know they like me. This people they talk about Nigeria. The thing they piss me off. I know they like.
Calm down. At the end of the day,
if you want Chris go another country. Not Chris go Nigeria, but I know they play that game. I know they play that game at all. I don't play with anybody.
We can go to Nigeria. I'm in Nigeria.
You can go and kill yourself anywhere you like, but don't play with Nigeria. I don't play that game.
We can go to Nigeria as much as we want. You ain't gonna do a damn thing about it. We don't care whether you go to Nigeria or not, but don't come here and be ranting your mouth. At the end of the day,
I'm telling you. If I see you face to face, I will tell you.
We will be in Nigeria and talk the same shit that we're talking right now. Don't make a difference. Nigerians on the ground talk the same as that.
I appreciate you, my bro.
No problem. Let me pass it to Nigel. Go ahead, Nigel. You got 2 minutes. Now I got to pass to Marie.
Thank you for having me. Yeah. There's been a bit of a noise going around. Regarding the topic, anyway, let's get back to the topic. Greetings, all the panelists and the chat and the viewers, and thank you for having me, Dynas.
Praise the Queen.
I saw the video of those helicopter, people coming in with weapons and giving it to locals to, exploit national resources and cause chaos in the country. I think that is not new. It's something that our leaders have said repeatedly, even if they don't say it loudly. Buhari did say once that, some foreigners are causing trouble in the country, that they plan to actually break up the country or a kind of put Nigeria in the state that DRC is in today. And there are and this begs the question that some of these things that our leaders that we like to insult now and cause are doing, is it that the outcome we are seeing today is the best that we could have achieved? Because people find it easy to just say, okay, we should have done more, we should have accomplished more, but we don't know what they are all up against. And many of our leaders, this is why I prefer Trump to be in office, because the other day one of them was talking on TV, and some of the things he was saying, he said a few years ago they wouldn't be able to say what they are saying now. And our chief of defense staff is coming up on Al Jazeera talking about how foreigners are sponsoring terrorists, and they are not able to say, they don't come out openly to say this about things before, but now they are being bolder and to reveal some of all these things that are going on. And Nigeria seems to be getting its act together to an extent. But we personally, the way I look at it is that until the total this thing, you see our leaders actually changing their security posture properly, you can't be sure that they really mean business. There is improvement in Nigeria. Dangote refinery is functioning. Nigeria is manufacturing some steel. They are actually looking to start manufacturing their own weapons in Nigeria now, because you had a chief of defense staff come out to say that whenever they want to buy weapons from the West and foreigners and people that are calling themselves our friends, they won't sell it to us, even if they know Boko Haram is ravaging our country, because they are the ones funding it. They will come with NGOs, and the NGOs will sign a lease of more than 10 years. It's like then our officials will be thinking, if you think you are coming here to come and help us so that this stuff will end, why are you signing lease for 10 years? It means that this stuff is going to go on for a very long time. So these are things we all know that this is the way they ensure that your nation don't progress. And many of our people are also very susceptible because they are busy playing tribalistic game. Some of all these foreigners, they use them to control our leaders too. Can you imagine if you want to challenge them now? And they go to one tribe in Nigeria that doesn't like the country, and they say they'll give them weapons. They will go and destroy their own country. Look at Syria now. Syria is completely destroyed. Israel is telling Syria not to put military in some parts of their country. They are taking land from them day in, day out, because this is how they destroy nations, and they hemorrhage you slowly, gradually for years. Then before you know it, the nation is dysfunctional. So I will leave it at that. I think I've gone for at least 2 minutes. So I will allow other people to speak. I just hope that Mr. Nigeria.
What happened to Marie? Marie, you left. Marie, I was gonna pass it to you, but she left. Okay, well, never mind. Go ahead.
Yeah. You guys should take it a bit easy. I don't understand, Mr. Nigeria. Take it easy. You don't need to fight, and be when you don't need to fight. Really, just take it easy and let's have a more civilized conversation about this actual topic, because this is a very serious issue.
He's not fight nobody over the internet. He just talking.
Yeah, but it's very noisy and just fighting each other. Sometimes the points that they are arguing over they're all in agreement to an extent. I don't know why the argument about.
To Niger, twale to you, Baba. See, me, I'm a Nigerian, a proud one at that. In my next life, I am a Nigerian. I pray to come in Nigeria. Me, I don't like when people talk about my country in a negative light, Baba. I don't play that game.
How about y'all clean up your country then?
No,
how about you clean up? How about you clean up the trash? How about you clean up the trash in those bags of shit that's on the side of the road? How about you got them cover up those manholes? How about you have somewhere for somebody to wash their hands? Like, once you clean it up, you just don't hear talking. I seen it for myself.
You don't understand.
That's the funny part.
You don't understand who you are talking to.
Your opinion is useless. I don't care, but I don't care who you are. I'm not nobody important. You ain't nobody important. But I'm telling you what I saw.
Let me finish my point. To Nigeria, they see them. Now, as I was saying,
what I saw. Damn who you are.
Let me finish my point. Mute yourself. Mute yourself by your own self. Mute yourself by yourself. Now, as I was saying, the main thing, I don't like, we know we are all going through the same thing. I can't say now African Americans are lazy, but I see holes in the community. But I can't say that out of the respect of the people on this panel. Then you can't come here and berate my own country. You see me as a Nigerian person here, you are disrespecting my country in my own face, and you expect me to agree with you. Guy, that's not going to happen now. It's 2 ways. You kick me out of the panel. That is very simple for me. I will go and sleep. But me, you are talking about my country in a negative light. Guy, you must be out of your mind.
Listen, nobody cares who you. Nobody cares who you are. Nobody cares who I am. But I'm telling the truth. When I was in Benin City, all I saw was motherfucking dirt roads.
You were never in Benin City. You have been telling this lie for years. I've been following Ghana for years. You have been telling this lie. Where did you say Benin City?
For the 12th time that you from Nigeria. We know that. We know that already, bro. We already know that already. But I'm telling you. But I'm telling you what I saw.
Hold on first. So
it's the strangest thing hold on to Niger. It's the strangest things in the world. When you tell the truth about something, it's disrespectful. The truth ain't disrespectful. The truth is the truth. You might not like it, like Jonathan Miller said, but it's the truth. And I'm telling you what I saw. I saw trash everywhere. I saw bags of shit everywhere. I saw open sewers everywhere. I saw sewers bagged up everywhere.
Just like in Chicago, I saw people.
I saw the lights. I saw the lights not staying on for more than 4 hours. I saw people sitting out there, laying out there in the ground, sweating the heat with no goddamn electricity and no goddamn power. I saw people out there can't even feed themselves out there in the street, and that's the truth.
Okay, let me ask you though, is that better? But the country has more people than the Native Americans. The people they are surviving, and we know things are difficult in that country right now, but it doesn't mean that we can't get ourselves out of it. I don't know why you have to rub it in people's face that okay they have problems. It's your problem too. You might not think that it's linked to you.
Oh, it ain't
It's
my
your
problem.
problem too.
How in the hell could it be my
So
problem too, Nigel? Tell me.
you might not see it in the bigger scheme of things. We are all linked one way or the other. Our problems are linked. So the
Nah,
idea that it's like being in a family and
Hold
insulting
on. Can
family
I can I
members.
can I say something after
nah, we
tonight,
ain't
man?
linked at
Hold on,
all.
hold on, hold on, hold
We
on,
Why
hold
ain't
you
on,
we
not
hold
ain't
on.
think
linked
Sis,
at
that?
all. We're
hold on.
very
Yeah, why
different.
why do you think we are
Hey, to
here?
Nigel,
How
let me
many
say this then.
Europeans are here?
Let me say this to you then. Let me say this to you, to Nigel. You want to know who the first people was to tell me that I was different from Africans? You want to know who the first people that I heard tell me that?
Maybe Arab Africans or
It was
Europeans, who knows?
Africans. It was African. The
Dude,
only
you are
time
out of
that
your
African,
mind.
hold on,
You
the
are
only
totally
time
out of your mind.
Africans started talking
Now I
about
know something
us
is wrong with
is
your
when they
brain.
talk about the struggle.
You are
That's the
totally out of your
only
mind.
time.
You are totally out of
Jonathan,
your mind.
Jonathan, am I lying or am I telling the truth,
I don't
Jonathan?
care about Jonathan. Who gives a
No,
shit about
but if
Jonathan?
an
Who is
individual
Jonathan? Is
says
Jonathan
that,
anybody?
what does
100%
that
right,
Is
mean?
Jonathan a
Deterro.
Can
human being or an animal?
an individual cannot take what you are from you? Come on, man. Let's not.
If you want us to talk about that
Can I
diversity,
can I
let me
say
tell
something
you
real
the
quick, man?
Africans that came to
Tanaja,
America that were
that
treated badly
doesn't,
by African
Tanaja, you're a
Americans.
smart
Man, just
guy.
don't talk
You're a
nonsense
smart
here.
guy, Tanaja. That doesn't
Nobody,
make no sense.
don't try
I
to
can
play
think, I
one
can
game
think
here.
I can think I'm whoever I am. But if the people, let's say this to Nigel. Let's say I'm a part of your family. I think I'm a part of your family, but your family tell me I'm not a part of your family. So I can sit up here and think however I
Yeah,
am.
but that's
But if
your
this,
family.
hold
But
on, let me
this
finish.
is not your family.
Let
That's
me
an
just finish.
individual
Let me
in the
finish, to
family.
Nigel. Let me finish. At the end of the day, I am a singularity because there's not a lot of people that's traveling to Nigeria anyway. So if the olive branch is
Dude,
not pushed out,
nobody cares
then
if you come
it
or
doesn't
not.
matter
You are
what you
irrelevant
say
in the
to
equation.
Niger. It doesn't matter what you
You
say
are
to
irrelevant in
Niger.
the equation.
The
You are
hand
even
is not
unproductive in
open
where you are.
with
How
a
can you be
hug.
productive
The
somewhere else?
hand is open out to what you can give them.
Isn't that how it
Yo,
is
can I say
everywhere
something real
where
quick
there
to
is
Nigel?
hardship? Yeah, please go ahead if you want to.
Yeah, bro. My main point was this, man. Salute to the panel. If you look at the reality of America, America has poops in the streets as well, but they have the opportunity to have funding to clean up their own streets. When you got a country like America is against extremists, funding extremists or helping support extremists is an oxymoron. It's almost as if the same situation where in America they had the drug, like people who were former Panthers, people who were former builders. The government targeted them to the point in which their children became dealers and criminals and etc. It's almost as if the powers that be has a desire for a more degenerate type of black versus a productive type of black. And even Sim Police, when he was dealing and doing whatever he was doing up in the streets, now he's more legal and clean. And he talking about there's no beautiful parts of Benin. I know he lying.
No,
When he
I
was
didn't say
doing
that. See? No, I didn't say that.
when you hold on, let me finish my point. I'm done, almost done.
No, just
When you
say
was in
my
the,
words
when you
correctly,
was
Pastor P.
you said it was a shithole. Haiti was a shit. There's beautiful parts of Haiti. There's beautiful parts of Benin. You trying to make it look like everything was a shithole. I don't know how that
No.
works.
That's the words that
But
coming out your mouth. That ain't what I
so what
said.
did you say? What did
That
you
is
say?
what you
What did
said,
you
my
say?
guy. Don't try to play amnesia here. You don't have brain loss. You don't have memory loss. You are telling
Yeah,
this guy
he
is
got a
telling the
mic.
truth.
He could speak. You
You
could
don't have
speak. What did
memory
you
loss,
say?
my guy.
No, what I said is what I said. Well, listen,
Yeah. So,
at the end of the
all
day,
right, so let me finish
hold
my
on.
point.
Let me say what I said again. What I said was what I saw when I went to Benin City. I didn't go over the whole motherfucking country.
Where did you?
I didn't go.
No, please.
Hold on. Let me.
Where did you
I
live in
know you.
Benin
Hey,
City?
bro, man, eat some spicy rice or something, bro.
Man,
Calm
just
your
get
ass
lost. Just
down,
come
bro.
on, get lost. Come
So,
on, get
what
lost.
I'm saying is that
What is wrong with you?
what I'm
If
saying
you
is
bring
that when
respect,
I
somebody
went
will
to
respect you.
Benin
If you talk
City,
rubbish, people will
I
abuse
saw
you. Who
what
are
I
you?
saw. You get
Come
what
on,
I'm
get lost.
saying? So, and then Haiti speaks for itself. Of course, it got some areas in Haiti that's nice. But when you talking about the capital city, if that's the capital city, it's the linchpin of said country. That's just like if you go to New York, the New York City makes it. It's not even the capital, but it makes it. If New York City looked like shit, it's gonna be perceived the whole country and shit. If you come to Atlanta, hold on, President P, let me say this. Let me say, cause you listen. The one thing I do, bro, you cool with me, but the one thing I don't like, I don't need you to characterize what I said and then say what I said. What I said was, and I'm word for word, is when I went to Benin City, I saw bags of shit everywhere. I saw trash. You couldn't go more than 50 yards, 50 yards,
And the
seeing
same thing
bags
I
of
said
shit,
when I went to
goddamn
Chicago. I saw trash everywhere.
mosquitoes, open
I saw trash
sewers,
everywhere in
and
Chicago too.
goddamn people laying out there in the street. People sitting out there
In
begging.
Chicago, I
And
see
you know
people
what the
laying out
funny,
there in
and
the
you
street
want to
too.
know, you want to know what the crazy
come on,
thing
man. You
is,
are
President
overdoing
P,
it
about
now.
Benin City, that the men beg
He's
more than the
overdoing it.
women.
And you people will expect me to just mute and let this guy be ranting on.
The men
I hear
beg
your anger.
more
You people
than
will
the
expect me
women.
to just mute and this
So
guy will be
let
ranting on.
me
For
ask
what
you.
now?
Sim, you are
Can I
going
ask him
too
a
Hold
question?
far now. Sim, you are going too far. It's not
And I
on.
will
true.
Let me
just mute and this guy will
say
be
it one
ranting
more
on. Now,
time.
what
Let me
for
say
this
it one more
crazy?
time. The
Why will I be?
men in
Because you are
Benin
talking
City
nonsense, my guy.
begs
Enough is
more
enough.
than the
There are other
women.
people on this panel. Something is wrong with your
But
head.
hold on. But in New York, there's shit in the streets of New York. Nobody
There's
says
shit
New
in the
York is
street
not
of
the
New
greatest
York.
city in the world.
People are getting on our
And on
life
top
every
of
day in
that,
Chicago. What are you talking about? You
With
come here
all
and
due
you
Okay,
respect,
I know
with
you
all
didn't.
due
so
I know you
respect,
didn't compare New York
not this
City
bullshit.
to
hold on.
goddamn
Let me finish my point.
Benin City.
Yes, I
I've been
did.
to
I
New
did.
York
On top
City.
of that,
I've been to New
on
York
top,
City.
yeah.
There's no way in hell you would even mention Benin City in the
There's
same
no way in the
context.
We
world.
don't
Hold on.
care. We are getting
Nobody's
You should
funding
there
have
are people
you should
criminals.
getting on our
have
life.
you should
Hold
have a
on.
little bit of
You come here
standard
and you be ranting
You're
your
with
mouth.
not
your
Why
making
should I be
sense.
ranting
analogy.
your mouth?
Hold on. The topic is about how America is
Princip,
helping fund
does the shit in
the
New York
extremists in the
City get
north.
cleaned up, or
Like
does
I
it just
said,
Who's
sit
people
there
are
funding?
getting on our
forever?
life
No,
every
hold on,
day
let
in
me finish my
Chicago.
point. Man. Who's funding the criminals in New York? Nobody's funding. America is taking an interest in funding criminals in the north of Nigeria. For what purpose? That affects the tax base of Nigeria to fund and create
They
more
ain't got
projects
no
to
tax
revitalize
base.
itself.
They ain't got no
Bro,
tax base.
Hey,
What are you talking
Dynasty,
about?
can you
hold
post
on.
the
What is
link?
this moron talking
Dynasty,
about?
post the link, please.
What is this moron talking? This senseless human being? What are you talking about? What
Hey,
are you
hold on
talking
for a
about?
second. Hold on for a second.
You are
Hold on.
getting on
Cause
our life in
hold on.
Chicago. You are
Dinus is
unaliving
a
yourself in
citizen.
Chicago. Is
Dinus
that
is
not a
a
problem?
citizen.
Is that not a
Dinus is a
pandemic?
citizen in Nigeria.
You are
Hey,
unaliving yourself in Chicago. Is that not a pandemic?
Does
You are
Nigeria have
unaliving
a
each other in
credible
Chicago. Is that
tax,
not a pandemic? You are unaliving
base?
each other in Chicago. Is that not a pandemic? Is that
I
not a
don't know. I
problem?
don't know if it's really
Hell
a war.
You
no.
come here and be talking
All right, take
nonsense.
They
that
ain't
back.
got
Let me
no.
take that back.
They ain't got
But it's
no
a cash base. It's a
tax
cash
system.
base. But there's a
You are
cash
unaliving
base.
each
There's a
other
cash
every day
base.
in
The
Chicago. Is that
billionaires
not
and
a problem?
millionaires make money off the
Unproductive
cash
fools.
base. So the more unproductive people there, the less
Most
money
most ri-
circulation going on.
most
What do
rich
you
Which
have?
people in
What do
makes
you have?
Nigeria
why
work for the
is
government.
Come
why is
on,
the
man.
NGOs
Hold on.
funding
Hold on,
criminals?
What do you have?
Why
You
is the
that don't have
NGO
nothing,
funding
you are
criminals?
coming here to rant.
Mr.
It's always
Nigeria.
the poor ones.
Mr.
It's
Nigeria,
always
just
the
hold
poor
on.
ones that have
Mr.
nothing to
Nigeria,
offer.
just hold on. Did you just say something about the tax base?
It's always the
See,
poor one.
No,
Nigeria
I took that
does
back.
have
I said cash base. The cash base.
the cash base.
When
It
people
has
spend, it
there's
makes
cash.
millionaires. It makes
Most
billionaires. I
most
take back
Nigerians are
the tax base.
most
That's in every country, bro.
see most
You
Yeah, but
so
most
you are
why would
let me
are
America
tell you,
retarded.
fund
sir.
instability
One
in a
at
nation?
a time. This is getting crazy.
Lost cause.
Nigerians actually spend the way they spend their money is not cash anymore. They spend mostly bank transfer now and this machine, this electronic transaction. Basically, that's what they do. And also, Nigeria does have a significant this in a tax base too, in terms of collecting tax from small traders. It's just that it doesn't filter up to the central government. That is the only issue. If not, Nigerians traders, if you start any business in Nigeria now, you get taxed by the people in that area, but it doesn't filter up to the north. So Nigeria has issues, and I don't know why Simp you are coming
No, but
and
two Niger,
doing what you're doing here today.
Brother, he's still speaking, my guy. Mute yourself. He's still speaking. Mute yourself, guy.
We have to
Mute yourself and comport
sometimes
yourself. What is wrong with
listen
you?
to
Mute
caution.
yourself, my guy.
The way you are exaggerating the point, I understand what you are trying to do, but we are not. Nobody's saying that Nigeria is perfect. We have issues. So does America, by the way. When you talk about 47,000 people getting killed every year, school shooting and mass shooting and left and right.
To
So
Nigeria,
everybody
these
has
guys
their
are the FBA guys. These guys that are here, they are FBA guys.
No,
They are
it's not
coming here to
FBA.
rant rubbish.
No, the simp is not FBA. I think he just want to troll you today.
Simp is lost. Simp is a lost cause. There's something is wrong with his head today.
Simp is just trolling you. He's just trolling you. I don't think he's FBA.
But
He's not a lost cause if he just stated the truth. You don't have to like the truth.
Where did you live? I'm asking you a question. Where did you stay in Benin? I'm from Benin. Where did you stay in Benin?
I live on
Jonathan, I'm not talking to you now, my guy. Respect yourself now.
Okay.
Don't you have brain? I'm talking to somebody.
I've seen the same thing that he's seen. You can't deny it. Just deal with it.
You don't have brain. I'm not talking to you now. You don't have brain.
You don't have brain. You don't have brain. It don't matter. It don't matter. He's been to Benin. I can verify he's been to Benin. Get over it.
I'm talking to somebody else. Mute yourself.
It don't matter. It don't matter.
Mute yourself.
It don't matter.
Mute yourself by yourself.
Get over yourself, boy.
Mute yourself by yourself. I ask question. Mute yourself.
He said it's a trash city. He said what he's seen. Cry about it.
Jonathan, you are irrelevant to this situation.
Nigeria.
Mute yourself.
Even in the GRA area of Benin City, they ain't even got 24-hour electricity.
Where did you stay? Jonathan, will you shut up your mouth, guy?
No.
When you are acting responsible, people will respect you. Me, I can abuse people. If
we don't care. We don't care about
you.
We don't see the difference between you. See, Elvis let you talk. Elvis let you talk to him like that, boy. You sit up here saying that you Nigerian means nothing.
I don't know.
You saying that you from Nigeria don't mean a goddamn thing, especially shitty ass Benin City.
I don't know which one has sense among the two of you. I'm asking you a question.
Let me tell you something. Asamba looks better than Benin City.
Don't have sense. I want to know between the two of you.
Asamba looks better than Benin City.
Let me finish, my guy.
It ain't nothing but a bunch of dirt. It ain't nothing but a bunch of dirt roads.
Hold on, guys. Let's get back to the topic. All right, let's get back to the topic.
Louis!
Senseless people that don't have sense.
Can I ask a question?
Let me pass it to Louis. Louis, our favorite belligerent Ashanti. Go ahead, Mike. The floor is yours.
All right, let me look at the shirt, Louis. Let me look at the shirt. Let me see if you busting out the shirt today.
It's just the.
It's loose. It's loose. Okay, go ahead, my brother.
Lively chat. Well, let's just keep it a bit respectable. Listen, interesting.
I know you ain't talking about respectable, Louis. No. I know you ain't talking about respectable. You sit up here.
Listen, let me tell you something. I always say this. Whenever you get an African American and Nigerian, there will be a personality clash because most of our people that left Africa by force were mainly from Nigeria. Listen to me. Around the world, as the former Ghana president said, everybody's looking for a successful black country. Okay? Nigeria, listen to me, brothers and sisters. You have not stepped up. So when our brothers and sisters come home and they go to Nigeria and they see, they are disappointed. That's why people like Hassan Smart has traveled to Nigeria. He's traveled to Benin City. And he is frustrated. Because the number one country in Africa with the most people that's telling the world about Africa has become a failed state. Listen to me too, Nigeria, you're my brother. The Nigerian brother, listen to me. Listen to me.
They ask you questions.
Nigerian brother, listen to me. I'm on your side. I'm not against you.
But I not play that play. I beg you.
Hear me out. Hear me out, brother. When there's a family and there are big men in the family, someone break into the house, we expect the big men to step up. From the days of 1 naira, $1, whichever way you look at it, it has taken us 50 years to get to Dangote. We should have 10 Dangotes 20 years ago. We know the white man. We know him. But for you, the way you've been showing off in the Western world, bringing your dollars here, showing off, the way you've been disgracing us with indiscipline, exporting, to this day and age, you're still kidnapping people.
Who is kidnapping people?
You've got to get your act together. I'm not against you. I'm telling you.
Kidnapping people?
Because the rest of the black world is not going to wait for you.
Who is kidnapping people? Me, I ask you a question. Who is kidnapping people?
They kidnapped the Yoruba organization youth leader, and it's all over YouTube.
Come on from my phone. I'm asking you a question. Who's asking you a question?
Brother, let me just answer you. What you are hearing is the frustration of our brothers and sisters coming back to Africa to go to different parts, going to the main part, Nigeria, and not even being welcomed by the president in a year of return.
Brother,
Lewis,
brother, let me tell you something. If Africans come to America, does the president come to welcome them? What are you talking about? Why must we then put our head in the sand?
Listen, do you know why I've rang? Because I was supporting you against my brother Elvis. I don't agree with Elvis and everything. I was supporting you.
What are you talking?
But I could see, listen to me.
Mr. Nigeria thing, he's an area boy and he wants to bully people on the platform. Calm down.
The biggest organ in the body is not the brain. You understand? Being big in number does not make you the number one. You should be number one, but you're not. So whichever way you cut it, we've watched Nigerians in the 60s, or from 50s, 60s, we've seen it. Now even you have Nigerians here who are head of Conservative Party, they're talking down bad about Nigeria. I'm talking about Benedok. Even I was angry with her talking bad about Nigeria. Angry with her while she's talking bad about Nigeria. But we got to be honest. You have not been the state that you should have been. From going forward, you have to look for the solution. The solution is going to come from Nigeria itself.
Hey, Louis, I got a question for you. Brother.
You have not been doing
I got a question for you, Louis. Let me ask my question real quick.
What he saw. So please, listen to their frustration.
Brother, their frustration is not my problem.
I got a question for you, brother.
Thank you so much. My question is, to live in America
what does it mean to be rich, Louis? What does it mean to be rich?
Their frustration is not my problem. There are other people living in Africa. It's not just
Louis.
Their frustration is not my problem.
My question is, what does it mean to be rich? Tell us what it means to be rich.
That is your headache.
Let me just answer the brother. Brother, I'm not frustrated. My frustration is not with you. Okay? I'm not going to Nigeria. So my frustration is not with you. My frustration is that you've got to realize that charity begins at home. You've got to sort yourself out at home. Then you can move forward. And when you got brothers
but Louis, we're not on topic though. The topic is about the AIDS situation. These guys hopped in talking about.
We're gonna come to that.
They always like to talk down on Africa, Baba. That is not going to fly tonight.
My friend,
you will put that in your pocket. Okay? You will put it in your pocket, not tonight.
Listen to me.
Not
we
tonight.
know about the AIDS. We know this. I was on your side, but what I'm telling you is that the brothers and sisters are complaining is the frustration that Nigeria itself as a country is now exporting.
Brother,
Louis, I hear what
you're saying. Wrong, man.
He doesn't want to come to Africa. Let them stay where they are. But they don't come and be ranting rubbish here. They're not going to Africa all the time.
Just hold on. See, I hear what you are saying, and even when I went to Nigeria, and in a way, I can, because of the nuances with what Simp is saying, clearly he has been there because he noticed the difference between Benin and Asaba. The point is, when I was there, and many of the areas like Lagos, there was significant improvement. Even on Anambra, Onitsha, there was significant improvement. Abuja, all those areas. But Benin City, for some reason, was somehow, I think the political era. Sorry, let me finish. The political era has stifled certain states in Nigeria. That is the truth. Edo State has lost that. Edo State was one of the most advanced parts of Nigeria when the British arrived. Remember, they used to manufacture weapons, actually. They were manufacturing guns when the British arrived. So being in Nigeria has some parts of Nigeria has lost out to an extent. And I remind them of that all the time. I said, how is it that the most advanced part of Nigeria when the British arrived is just as if it's a backwater now? They need to do something about it. That said, that doesn't mean that things are not going to change. And I hear your frustration, but there's a way someone like Mr. Nigeria will hear it and he will think, okay, you're just attacking Nigeria. I know Simp enough to know that that is not what is happening. So, Mr. Nigeria, just take it easy. Simply, that's what he does.
Yeah.
And if I can say, hold on, let me say something real quick. Let me say something real quick, Louis.
Me, I'm not angry. You can make example with other countries, but don't talk about my country. Say my country is a state. Me, I will not agree
Nigeria. Let me tell you something.
Never tolerate that.
Let me tell you something. When I came over there, I was excited. You get what I'm saying? You know, and I heard the hype about Benin City. So my handler is from Asaba. You get what I'm saying? So when I left from the Asaba, I spent about 3 days in Asaba. It's smaller. You get what I'm saying? But then when I went to Benin City, it was like goddamn going in ancient times. Benin City looks like a crack house compared to Asaba.
There are other foreigners living in that same Benin City.
What
Are you the only
I'm
person?
saying, what I'm
Why
saying
did
is
you go
that
there? No, why did
this
you
is
go there? Who
Nigeria.
asked you to
This
go
is
there?
what I'm saying. This is
Who
what
asked
I'm
you to go there?
saying. The
You
basic
see that this
stuff.
guy don't have sense.
What
You say
I'm
you live in
saying is
GRA.
that
You don't have sense.
when I
GRA
was
is
in
government reservation
Asaba,
area.
when
You
I
don't
was
have
in
sense.
Asaba for 3 or 4 days,
Nobody
when
forced
I
you to
went
go
to
there. Please
Benin
don't go again.
City,
Stay in
they
America.
didn't even have power for
Please
more than
don't go
3 or
again.
4
Stay in America.
hours
Don't go
each
again.
day.
Stay
And
where you
one of
are.
the
That's your
days,
problem.
the power was almost completely out for the whole day.
They talk nonsense.
The
So
Please don't
how
go
in
again.
transport
Don't
was
the
go to
bad.
Nigeria again.
so
Stay in
tell me
America. Please
this.
stay
So
in
tell me
America.
this.
Don't
How
go
can a
anymore.
city
We don't want
like
people that come and be talking
Asaba,
nonsense.
how can a city like Asaba it can look better and have more of an infrastructure than a powerhouse with that many people in Benin City?
Because Nigeria politics, there are 3 major groups in Nigeria. If you look at Nigeria now, the tribes that were doing better before the British arrived has, in a way, they've lost ground to the bigger tribes. If you look at the area you are referring to as Asaba, we know the people that are from those areas and people that are from this in Edo. But see, this is, I
They
think,
destroyed it on purpose.
America is not the same. Like America, I think where the British first arrived is different from where the areas that are the most developed now in
Listen,
America.
hear me
So
out. Hear me out.
things change in nations.
Tunaga, listen to me. I remember when I first made my first trip back to Ghana after 17 years, after my mom's death, and then I went around the city. They took me around Kumasi. And the first person I got angry at when I drove around Kumasi was our king that time. Because he was an ambassador to Ghana, to Italy. You've seen infrastructure and you sat your ass back down and let Kumasi go to where it was that time. It's improved. But what I'm saying is that the standard that we know here to Niger in the West, our leaders are not replicating it fast enough in a West African country. So our brother here in Nigeria, not realizing this, think that you're attacking him personally. No, we are black people. We come from Africa. When one is attacked and spoken badly of, we are all affected, including our brothers and sisters in America. What we are saying to the people who want to defend Nigeria and Africa and letting our leaders get away with lackluster leadership, they don't have the force of the old leaders who started independence for us.
But Lewis, can I
We're praising them because they have fancy cars. We've got to force our people and our leaders to work for us. Okay?
But
if
Lewis,
we know the white man is evil, don't welcome him in. Those leaders who want to sit on top of us, if they don't do or support people like Dangote, we get on their neck. That's where we should get angry. Exactly. It's not hard to make a country look nice. Build nice road, have electricity, and supply water, and clean the fucking street. It's not hard. I will not expect that from any African bloody leader. When I go back home, I know what I'm going to do. So the people in Nigeria, listen to me. Sort your act out. You're the big brother. We're expecting better. That's all that these brothers are expecting.
Thank you, Louis. Louis, God will bless you. Me, I'm not angry. Me, I'm not angry. Me, I'm not angry at African being progressive. I'm all for it. We are all on this panel because we want the progress of Africa. But not somebody coming on this panel calling Africa a shithole, just like what Donald Trump said.
You don't worry.
Talking about Africa from the racist perspective. My brother, it never happened.
He doesn't mean that. He gets frustrated.
No, even if he means it or not, let him keep it in his pocket.
I didn't say Nigeria was a shithole. I said Benin City is a shithole.
I don't care, my guy. I'm telling you. They need to
Tonight, let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question tonight.
I don't give a shit about your question. Why do you have sense that
Niger, not you, because you're just gonna be emotional. So to Niger, so it's a difference between, because Benin City is Edo and Asaba's in Delta. So you say that's the reason for it looking like it looks, because one is in Edo State and one is in Delta.
Let me tell you,
politics.
I don't know if you went to Warri, but even Warri looks better.
No. Let me tell you the history of Benin. Let me tell you the politics of Nigeria. In Nigeria, there's 3 major tribes: Igbo, Yoruba, and Hausa. Majority of those tribes, when they allocate bills, they allocate the maximum to those people because they have the more population. So the people with less population always get less of the bill. That's the number one thing to start with. Yeah, if you go to that Asaba you are talking about is from the east. The Easterners get good allocation from the government because they have more state and more population. It's common sense. It's common sense. Then you come here, you rant your rubbish. It's common sense.
And when they want to build national projects, they tend to want to put it in areas that are from the major groups, and it tends to affect smaller groups. So Nigeria, many major places have lost out because of Nigeria. But let me say one thing about Nigeria that maybe Mr. Nigeria forgets. Sometimes that's why, in a way, when people criticize Nigeria now, I take it on board, because if you look at most other groups in the world, the largest group among them are the ones that chart the path, like India for Indians, China for the Asians, America for the Europeans. But who are the people representing Africa? Nigeria for nobody. But point is that Africa, if you look at Africa, and almost quite, if you look, 70% of black people on the face of the earth are linked to that location that you call Nigeria. The Bantu expansion started from the Mambila Plateau, that is in Nigeria, that started from Nigeria and into Cameroon, and they expanded all the way to South Africa. When you talk about the Niger-Congo group, they have a link there. Even recently, they did a research that they found out that during the migration and the desertification of the Sahara, that most of the migration, somehow, they seem to converge around the Borno area and towards the middle area of Nigeria. It turns out that that's where they found a knock culture that goes back almost 6,000 years. So the point is that Nigeria is linked to so many groups that is unbelievable when you think about it. That in the greater diaspora too that we're talking about, like the African Americans, the Brazilians, you see the culture that they practice there, the Ifa culture and all the rest. Nigeria is linked to so many groups, and they are the most populated country in Africa at the same time. If there is a black Mecca in the world, it should be in Nigeria. That's how important Nigeria is.
I agree with that.
That's just what it is.
But the leadership has to now step up.
They have to.
Me personally, as an African, I'm looking for what's best. I think Nigeria should be 3 different countries because it's bite-sized. You can chew it then. Yeah? And we got to devalue, stop everything from the government from the top. That's what we're struggling with Ghana at the moment. We're going to devalue so that the local people can have money, their own budget, bring their own investment so they can clean their streets. We've lost it.
But hold on though, Lewis. But hold on,
you want to devalue the Naira? You want to devalue the Naira?
No, not devalue. What I meant is government is always at the top.
Decentralized.
Yeah, we got local government. We need to have local government.
I agree with that also. But to Niger, so you're saying that, so what I'm saying is Benin City is probably 60% bigger than Asaba, right?
Yes.
And it has probably the same amount as population, right?
Yes, more than, I think they probably have more than Asaba.
Yeah, they have more. That's what I'm saying. So then how does Asaba, so you're saying that, so Asaba is Delta, right? Right there on the Niger River, right?
Yes. So Asaba is oil producing and they get more allocation. As a matter of Delta State, and I think Delta State gets one of the highest allocation in the country.
Okay. You see now you don't have sense. You have to apologize to Nigeria, my guy. You must apologize to my country, Baba. You must apologize to my country, Baba. No.
No, brother.
You must apologize to my country.
Listen,
God.
Listen, I will not apologize for the truth.
Baba, wait. No. Before we from here move forward, you must apologize to my country.
Listen. Wait. Hey, let me tell you something, Mr. Nigeria. Mr. Nigeria, until y'all pick up them bags of shit that people are that taking a dump and throwing them out there in the road, till y'all clean up that shit, then beneath it is what it is.
What is this guy talking?
You know what the funny thing about it? You know what the worst thing about it is? It's the smell. It's the smell when you walk through there. So you got to duck the smell of Benin City, and you got to duck them aggressive mosquitoes out there. And they got them goddamn gangster. They got them gangster Neanderthal mosquitoes out there.
Are people not getting on a life in Chicago? You don't have sense.
Fuck it. But I mean, you would goddamn, you would get lead poison walking down the street. They got, hey, Jonathan, they got planks of wood. Little small planks of wood that's over the sewer.
Mute
It's almost
yourself.
like
Let
you got to
intelligent
walk a
people talk.
tightrope.
Intelligent people
You
want to
got to
speak.
walk
Mute
down a
yourself.
tightrope to get down in these open sewers, and the ground
Intelligent
is
people want
just
to speak.
coming
Mute
up like
yourself.
you're
Intelligent people
Hold
want
on,
watching
to speak.
can I ask you a
a
question,
movie
Simp?
where
Can I
monsters
ask you a
coming
question,
out the
Simp?
ground. I never seen
Intelligent
no
people want
shit
to
like
speak.
that
Mute
before in my
yourself.
life.
Intelligent people want to speak.
All
Intelligent people want to speak.
right. Yeah, go ahead, Prince P. Then we're gonna close out.
God bless you, my brother. Let intelligent people speak.
Go ahead. Then we're gonna close out.
Yeah. Basically, they broke down how the government works, right? They're saying that the major tribes get the most money, right? One of the major tribes is in the north, which is the Hausa, right? With the NGOs funding instability in the north, you don't think that hurts the stability and the increase of revenue coming in and flowing through Nigeria? That's my question to Jonathan
Brother,
and Simp.
the agriculture of Nigeria is produced in the north.
That's my
Yeah,
The
point.
agriculture of
yeah,
Exactly.
but no,
Nigeria
but it's two
mainly is
different
produced in
crops
the
though.
north.
The
With
north
those
is
It's two
instability,
different.
people don't go to farms anymore.
Yeah,
the
it's two
north.
different money. The money structure is different.
Let me give you Sim. Let me give. Sorry, let me just give Sim the
let
number so
Nigel
that they will
reply.
understand. Yeah, let me give it Sim the number so that you really know the scope of the deprivation that is going on in Edo State.
Appreciate it.
Delta State that you said that that Asaba is in gets the highest allocation in all the 34, 36 states of Nigeria. Then Edo State that Benin is in. This is one of the most advanced areas that was in Nigeria before the British arrived. They get bottom 4. So only 3 states get more than Edo State. So they are almost at the bottom. They barely get anything.
Is that because Delta State produced the most oil?
Delta State
Yes.
produces a lot of oil. Yes, petroleum.
Nevertheless,
Next.
we have to be honest. The
Bayelsa
money
third.
that goes to Edo State gets stolen like a motherfucker.
It's your father that is the president now. Your father is the
not that
governor
there's
now. Is it not your father that is the governor? Ewu, senseless human being. Is it not your father that is the governor? When I say you don't have sense, just mute
Mr.
yourself
Nigeria,
forever. Mute
he
yourself
loves
like
to
this.
fight, bro. He's a
Brother,
confusionist. He
Just
loves
mute yourself like this. You don't have
you
sense.
can't be talking like that when you're
There
talking
was
to other people.
Hey, hold on.
Yeah, go ahead.
Hey, Kisses. Somebody said you saucy sand.
I know, right? I saw that. That's why I'm busting out laughing. Hey, you know what? No, listen. Look, let me tell you something. So I was flying to Washington, D.C., man. And so when I got in the line to get the check in, so I looked in front of me, man. It was Saucy Santana up there with some motherfucking gray jogging shorts on and a too tight ass shirt on. And the man was like, go ahead, man. Go ahead and get behind. I'm like, man, hold on. Look. Y'all search me some more or something, bro. I don't want to get behind. I'm talking about, boy, his head is his head is twice as big as Lewis' head. You get what I'm saying? And you think Lewis wear a tight shirt? You think Lewis? Boy, this shirt was choking him. He he had on some shades, and the shades was bending on the side. I was like, look at this crazy ass man with a full beard, bro. That was like when you see it in person, Dynasty, it's crazy. He is big.
I have a question. Simp, I have
He's
a
a big
question.
ass dude, bro.
Simp, I have a
Go
question
ahead.
for you, please.
Yes,
You said
go ahead,
you
Mr.
were
Nigeria.
going to you entered flight from New York. With what brain? This brain that you have?
Hey, brother, come on. Listen.
You say what now?
Listen, brother. You have to be a bit
Hold
more.
on. Let him finish. Listen. I don't tell the truth about it. It'll hurt his feelings. So let him go ahead and get it out. Go ahead. Would you say that again, Mr. Nigeria?
I said, what brain? You know, normally, sometimes in Nigeria, let me just tell you how it is. In Nigeria, when somebody is saying trash, we will ask them, don't use this brain crossroad. Don't use that brain to cross the street because you get hit by a car. So I'm asking, what brain did you use to get the flight? Is it this brain?
Oh, okay, let me tell you. See, when two elephants fight, only the grass suffers. Only the grass suffers.
Hey, only down in the middle.
Y'all full of. Let me tell you something. The one thing that I give Nigerians credit for, y'all got all the folk tales, all the colloquialism. Y'all got the best. Y'all got the best quotes. You know what I'm saying? And on top of that, y'all churches. I thought Jamaican churches was fun. Nigerian church, but yeah, them chicks being not jumping around, shaking ass in the name of the Lord.
You know
Louis,
what I'm
that is what
saying?
you
I
like. Louis,
love
that
it.
is what you like.
You
Look
know
at
what
you
I'm saying?
yesterday.
So
That is what you like. See, Louis.
listen, exactly. That's what I like. That's the only thing. Listen, that's the only thing that was good about Benin City was the chicks, because the dudes was too busy
What
out
are
there
you doing? What are
begging.
you doing with the chicks?
It was the dudes that was begging. Like I never, you know, in America we're just not used to that. Usually the chicks that begging. In Benin City,
Guys
it's the
don't beg in
men that's
America.
out there
Guy, you are
begging.
lying now.
It's
You
the
are
men.
lying.
It's
People
the
beg on the
men that
street.
out there opening their mouth, putting their hands in,
No,
putting their
no, no.
fingers in
Louis,
their hands, talking about
Louis, are you
feed them.
supporting this lies? Guys don't beg in America.
So
Louis, are you supporting this lies?
So you saying in the central area that the men don't be out there begging more, the women out there hustling. The women out there at the shops, the women out there selling something. It's the men
What
out
are
there
you talking
begging.
about? What is this
Are
guy
you
talking
for
about?
real?
He's talking about what he saw.
It's
Are you?
100%
No, because his
accurate.
brain is not
The
working. That is
men
why his
are the
brain is not
ones
working.
out
His
there
brain is not
Hold
begging.
working.
on, Jonathan. Mr.
He has
Nigeria,
water
are
in
you
his
for
brain. That is
real?
why it's not
The
working.
women out there hustling. The women out there selling puff. The women out there walking around with buckets with drinks and milks and yogurts on their
So
head.
all
On
the
They
men
top
you
of
out
the
know
there
in their
selling.
head.
houses. You know
They
their houses.
out there pulling. Hey, Diners, they out there pulling 50-pound little skinny ass chicks out there pulling 50-pound buckets off their head,
You
selling
know their
something out there in
houses
the
now.
street.
You have been to their houses.
The men out there dusty as
Man,
fuck
guy, come.
with some
Let me tell you
goddamn
something. Let me
bullshit
tell
ass
you
sandals on
something.
with their crusty
Let me
ass
tell you something.
ankles
You are
trying to
hungry. Have you
snatch
eaten? You
somebody's
are hungry.
phone and
You know when
begging.
people are hungry,
That's what
they
the
tend to
dudes
talk
do.
nonsense. You
That's
are
what the
hungry, my
dudes
guy.
was out there in Benin
You are
City was doing,
hungry.
begging and looking
You
for
need some
a
mashed potato in
female
your life,
phone to
my guy. You need
snatch.
some mashed potato in your life. You are hungry. You need some
Now,
mashed potato in your life because you are hungry. You are not making sense.
Hey,
to be
I
fair to
know y'all
Benin
was
It's not
begging,
City,
making
man.
sense.
The whole
that
Even
happens
time.
you,
in
Jonathan,
other parts
you
of
are just
Nigeria
Yeah,
too.
-1 in the
dude.
equation. You are just -1.
I hate going to
Jonathan,
the
you are
mall with
-1
my
in the
wife
equation.
when I'm in the
Your brain is
catcher.
out of
The
place.
niggas over there want to beg and shit.
Hey, guy,
Oh
close your
God,
mouth.
do
What
something
about
for me.
Americans? What
Oh
about
God, give
African
me
Americans
something
that are
now.
on
Oh
opioid
God,
and
this
are begging
country
on
hard.
the
Oh,
street?
this country
Come on,
hard.
get away with
Oh,
me.
Hey,
Come
and
hey,
get
the
away with
Louis.
females
me.
walk around selling
Hey,
shit.
come on, get away
Hey,
there.
Louis,
Get
I
away
got
there.
to tell the truth, bro. Hey,
What
them
truth
little
are you
dudes, they
telling? What truth are
skinny
you
and
telling
they
when you are telling
fast
lies?
as shit, bro. If
No
they
You are
problem.
snatch
Listen,
something
telling
from
brother.
you,
lies. You
you
are
can
telling lies.
forget it.
You
You
When
are
you
can
telling
gonna
lies.
come
forget
to
it.
Ghana and do an analysis? When you gonna
He's
come to
telling.
Ghana and do an analysis?
You know what, man? You know, Ghana,
Don't go
I
to
got,
You
Ghana.
want
No,
the
don't,
Ghana
good, the
don't like.
bad,
Ghana
and the
don't like
ugly.
senseless people.
I
No,
don't
Ghana is my
see Ghana
neighboring country.
like
Ghana
that,
don't like
man. You
senseless
know,
people.
because they always have this advertising by, going to, visiting the slave ship and the slave
No. Ghana is my
dungeons and
neighboring
all that
country. They don't
stuff,
like
man.
senseless people.
And
Ghana is
it's
my
like,
neighboring country. We don't
the
want
thing
senseless
about
people in
it
Ghana. We
what
don't
I
want
don't
senseless people to
understand
go and
is
spoil the
that
president. No.
how this the people, God damn, Mr. Nigeria, you see nobody ain't listening to you, bro.
That's what I'm
Rest
telling you.
now.
You are talking. You are
Rest now,
senseless. We
Biko.
don't want
Rest
senseless
now,
people in
Biko.
Ghana. Don't spoil Ghana for me, please. Ghana is my neighboring country.
God
We don't want
damn.
senseless people there.
Okay, we won.
Don't go.
Nigeria,
Stay in America. Remain there. Just remain there.
Nigeria is great except for Benin City. So, but listen,
So Nigeria is great except for Benin City. You see this one now?
except for
Hey
Benin City.
man,
Louis,
hey,
you are here.
stop
You are
taking
listening to this
shots
guy.
at Benin, damn it.
Louis, you are here. You are
I
listening to this
Listen,
love
guy. You are here. You
Benin.
are listening to this guy. Okay, now, no problem. No
the
problem, my brother.
girls,
Just carry
the
on.
girls
Carry
in
on.
Benin City.
Carry
The
on.
But
females are
Carry on. Carry on.
everything.
hey,
So
but
Nigeria is great. It's
see
only
the
Benin City
Ghana,
that is spoiling Nigeria. Carry on.
the way that Ghana advertises to Americans to come over there, you know what I'm saying? I don't like that shit at all. You get what I'm saying? At least Nigerians ain't letting white people come over there and get citizenship. Ghana just rubbed me the wrong way, the same way to South Africa. I would never go to South Africa.
But listen, brother. When you come there, they want to need to give their citizenship to white man. Once you come and fill the gap, they don't need to bring the white man. But because so get there first. We want the good, the bad, and the ugly.
But let me tell you the
That's
problem
what I
though.
was saying.
The problem with Ghana is that they don't create with all this the traffic or whatever. They created this high society that now you got the people that's on the lower stand have envy for the people that's coming over there and living in these areas because they don't make the price go up. See the
No, you know
tourism.
why? You know why, Hassel? It's supply and demand.
I
People is
get it,
popular now.
but
People go
hold
in
on
there.
though. Hold on though. You can only have supply and demand work
work perfectly in harmony when you have a system that don't let the bottom part be destitute, the bottom part of the people be destitute. That's the problem. Hold on for a second. What I'm saying, hold on, this is the last part. This is the last part, I promise.
Go ahead.
If the supply demand is up and then the wage go up a little bit, I wouldn't have no problem with it. But the wages
Right.
and hold on, the wages is stagnated, and the price of goods is higher. You get what I'm saying?
Listen. Once you're there, you know how to move. If you go outside Accra, it's a different country. In Accra, the demand has meant that things have gone up because they don't have enough quality housing to meet the foreign goods coming in. But there's a market opening up, and people are coming in, investing and building houses up high. So if you want a top high living, you can have it with the safety. Okay.
Louis,
Then
I want to say one thing.
And then in time, the rest of it will take care of itself. As for destitution, listen, most of the people coming in that you see on the road begging, they come from the neighboring countries. They're not Ghanaians themselves. Every Ghanaian has a farm somewhere they can go and cook and eat. I never starved once in Ghana. Never heard of it. The only time we struggled when we had $1, £1, or the Ghanaian boy didn't have to come to Europe. They went straight to Nigeria. Then we couldn't even get people to go in the village and bring the cocoa.
I want to ask a question.
Once you come down, how's it smart? When you plan on going, you going with Dinus?
Ghana?
Yeah, go with Dinus.
You know what? That's the one place I will go in a group is Ghana. You know what I'm saying? Hold on. Let me say this one thing though, because Joseph Sankara was in the chat. He's right. I actually favor Nigeria. I'm saying is I haven't been to Ghana yet, but what I'm saying is that it's not like I expected more. I just expected more out of Benin City. I had my hopes up when I got there because hold on, let me finish.
So you like Nigeria?
I love Nigeria because I like the chicks. You know what I'm saying? The chicks makes it great. But what I'm saying is that when I left Asaba, you know, you think like if you go just like if you're in Atlanta, you know what I'm saying, where I live at, and if you coming from a smaller city and you say, hey, I'm going to Atlanta, or I'm going to Columbus, or I'm going to Savannah, you just expect for the bigger city to be better than the smaller city that you came from. And then when I got to Benin City to Niger, it was like I felt like I wasted my money coming there. To Niger. Hold on, this is the last part. I promise. This is the last part. See, I'm not just talking about just seeing that it was the morale. You get what I'm saying? It was a lot of thuggery going on in Benin City. I ain't even talk about that part. It's a lot of young guys around there running wild, you get what I'm saying? Trying to be thug, trying to be tough, and the city looks like shit. That's the funny part.
See, okay, fine.
Just like in Chicago when people are living each other on a daily basis, the city don't look like shit. My guy, you are senseless.
But I definitely understand the idea that you expect it to be better because
that's what it was.
I definitely understand.
I think Benin has got an ancient name. The ancient name, that's what it's got. Even that sculpture you got on.
They will get back to where they were. Yeah, they will get back to where they were because I'm one of those people that lament the way the state of the city.
It's falling behind. It's falling behind.
They're falling behind. And I feel like Nigeria doesn't seem to cater to their heritage as much. And you know, we'll see how things shape up now that things are improving in the country.
But is there not a king in Benin? There's a monarch, isn't there?
There is a king. Yeah. The Oba is there. The Oba is there.
Yeah, he's very close to the Ashanti. And he has big Rolls Royces and all that. That guy, he's got his own private plane.
Yeah, they used to control areas close to Ghana. That's how much territory these guys were conquering. You know, but now they are like a shadow of their old self. So it's just what it is.
To Niger, first time why I hear you talk good about my country. Baba. Today I will sleep. Today I will eat, I will sleep.
Come on, I do talk.
Today
I do say
I
good
will
thing
smoke
about the
my
country.
weed, I will sleep in peace. Today I will sleep peacefully.
Can I get a
For you to
comment
say
in
good
real
about
quick?
Nigeria, Baba,
Of
thank you
course,
for
I
today.
say good things about Nigeria.
Mr.
Thank you. You have made
Nigeria,
my day. You have made my
Mr.
day.
Nigeria, the
My God,
girls
leave
in
me alone. Leave
Benin,
me alone. Leave me alone. Leave me alone. Leave me alone.
Mr.
Leave me alone. I'm
Nigeria,
talking to two Nigeria. Leave me
the
alone.
girls
Leave
in
me alone.
Benin
Leave me
City
alone.
will trade
Leave me
me
alone. I'm
for
talking to
you
two
any
Nigeria.
day. They
Leave me
will
alone. I'm
trade me
talking to
for
two
you.
Nigeria. Oh, brother, you are destroying my chain
Hey,
of
the
thought. I'm
Toto,
talking to
don't
two
come to
Nigeria.
my territory. Go
I'm
to
talking to two
South.
Hey,
Nigeria.
hey, Jonathan, where are
Jonathan,
you
you
at,
are
bro?
spoiling my chain of thought. You are spoiling my train.
Hey,
Two Nigeria, I beg, mute
Mr.
listen,
yourself.
man.
Nigeria, Mr. Nigeria, you
Oh, let
gotta
me speak.
admit, you
Two
gotta
Nigeria,
Listen,
mute.
admit,
Two Nigeria, mute
listen,
yourself.
have
Jonathan. Hold
problems,
on, Jonathan. See, a
and
few
it's even
months
worse
ago,
than just saying it.
What kind of people be this one? Why would I not let
hey,
me speak now?
Huh?
a few
Go
months
ahead and
ago,
speak.
I was sitting there talking to.
I gotta pass the mic because Elijah's been waiting, and then we gotta go.
Oh,
Say,
hold on, Jonathan. Let me say this one more thing. Wait, listen, 5 seconds, man.
Let Elijah go.
I gotta pass the mic.
Thank you, Dana. God bless you. God bless you. Pass the mic, please.
Cisse, go ahead, Cisse. Unmute yourself, Cisse. Cisse, unmute yourself. Cisse.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Go
Yeah,
ahead.
thank you very much. Yeah. This is the thing. I think the USAID is no less than what they call it, a T group, a terrorist group. Let me explain. How much US damage Africa. If you look at the Boko Haram, how many people they make them homeless? How much USAID sponsor a politician in Africa to destabilize Africa? It's so many. You see, like I think the Africans who are coming try to mention, oh, USAID give you a scholarship. Those are their hideout. Those are the tools they use to hide. But the how many? If we compare the number of aid they give to individuals and the displacement they create and the lack of development they create, they protect those leaders. If they didn't sponsor those people, Africans can rise up and overthrow them. But no, but US always maintain this kind of a system, and these Africans who are coming here try to justify US aid. Look, if any country, China or Russia, did something like this into American government in the American soil, every American will say those people are terrorist groups. 100%, no doubt. But we Africans and those hold on, those Africans who are on social media, those people are pay agents, nothing more or less. If we know those people, we can identify them. Those people don't deserve to live in this life. Look, we
Brother,
have to be realistic.
listen,
We
you
have to
got to call
hold
them
on, no, no,
when you
no,
see them.
no, hold on, don't cut me off. All right, we have to be real. Africa was delayed for development for all these years. HIV I mean, look, the more they give you pills, the more they injecting somebody with some kind of a disease somewhere. Because we saw Hillary Clinton, you can find this yourself. Don't take my word for it. Hillary Clinton, they apologize to some Latin American countries for injecting them with a disease. So how many diseases these people bring to Africa for experimentation to destroy the society, to keep
Brother,
up
even
the.
the age that they are bringing, the materials are
Oh,
invested with
yeah,
HIV.
yeah, hold on. What I'm saying is, we hear Africans coming on social media. They act like they have no brain, dead brain. Those people don't deserve to live. I swear to God, they must be They must be clean. I wish your father, your mother in Africa, Boko Haram clean them up. Look, in Mali, Burkina Faso, Niger, the same people, they fund these people, they weaponize them. Look, your
You know
mother,
it.
your father, if you supporting USAID in Africa, your mom, your dad must be on a life by those Boko Haram, Al Jamal, all those three group in Africa. We,
Brother,
on,
listen,
on, on,
there's a bigger Boko Haram, bigger the Boko Haram called Paul Kagame. He's the
yes,
bigger
I know.
Boko Haram we got.
Yes,
Paul
yes, I
fucking
know.
Kagame.
All politicians in Africa, opposition, look, in Africa, one country, you got Senegal, all those countries in Mali, all those places, they have opposition parties. Who's funding them? This
US.
European NGO. This European NGOs. So what they do is they use those people to destabilize countries, and then every president they want to replace them, they create a coalition of opposition. All those opposition, you don't hear them. Nobody among those politicians who criticize any Western countries,
Never.
any Western policies in Africa. So look, USAID must leave. This supposed to be our agenda. Don't come here, try to whatever you think. I wish I pray to I pray. I mean, Boko Haram. If you support this Janjaweed movement in Africa, no brother. One day they get caught up with the Boko Haram. Take them out. That's what should happen to you and your family. Because if China did this in America or Russia, no American person you will hear them defending them. Say, oh, but they're supporting the people in the bad, homeless people. While you destabilizing bunch of people. Look, I believe Black America in America, black on black crime, black people should be investigating that thing. Open your eye and look what is causing this thing. So that's what I have
Even in
to
the
say.
black community, the African American community, the guns were planted, the drugs were planted for the people to be destroyed. What are you talking about?
Okay,
What
I
are you
think we
talking
made our
about?
point.
Everything they say about Africa is always the negative side. I notice all the time. When they want to talk about Africa is the negative side, you are even saying Ghana. Look at how he's saying Ghana, negative side of Ghana. What are you
What
talking
negative?
about, my guy?
There's
If you have nothing
we're
positive
all
to
right.
say,
We're
then
all
keep
right in
quiet.
Ghana, brother. We're okay in Ghana.
Keep
We got a
quiet.
long way
But
to
look at
go,
what
but
this
we're
guy was
okay.
saying. This Toto guy was saying. He said Ghana is this, Ghana is that. Ghana is advertising itself. What do you want them to do? They should not advertise themselves. If they advertise themselves, they are wrong. If they don't advertise themselves, they are wrong. What are you talking about? Every time when it comes to Africa, it's always the negative, negative, negative.
No, brother, he
You are
loves
pushing the
Africa.
same narrative that the white people are pushing. For
traveling.
what?
He's traveling through Africa at the moment. So, give him, not many of us actually do get around to it. Even
Nigeria
some of
is
our
doing
children
well right
don't
now.
go back
I am
home.
proud of this Tinubu guy. I'm surprised. Nigeria is doing well. Little by little, we will get there.
Okay.
No, you should already be there.
I'm not that certain about this Tinubu guy. He was the one that devalued the currency of Nigeria, that caused the Nigerian economy more than 60 billion dollars in job losses, income, and all the rest. So I feel like he stepped Nigeria backwards. Nigeria is just recovering now, only due to the fact that Dangote exists, and we have to watch this space
And they're
and see
saving
what
themselves a
happens
lot
next.
of money.
Yeah,
Man,
because
if you
he's doing value
need
added
that goatee to save you, then if you need one person to save the country, then the country is gonna never be saved. But you want to know something,
We need
Jonathan?
about 5
Maybe
or 10 more
3, 4.
Dangote.
Yeah, they need about 10 Dangotes. But what I'm saying is, Jonathan, about 5 or 6 months ago,
Why you not
I
a
was sitting
Dangote?
up,
Why you not a
I was sitting
Dangote?
up
Why
there
you not a
talking
Dangote?
about. I was sitting up there talking about how Nigerian chicks had hard faces like Trap Joe from He-Man till I went to Benin City in
Why are you
Asaba.
not a Dangote?
Good
Why are you not a
Lord.
Dangote?
Benin City got the best
Leave
looking
Benin City
chicks
alone. Leave Benin City
Yeah,
alone.
that's
in
all.
Leave
Nigeria.
Benin City alone.
Wow.
Leave Benin City alone.
Guys, we gotta close out. Everyone, thank you
Okay,
for
no
joining.
problem, Dinas. God bless you. God bless you, Dinas.
All right.
Leave Benin City
Catch
alone.
you
Leave
guys.
Benin City alone.
All right.